Gamers, gamers, hello, wait, did I already say good morning, good afternoon? Yes, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, today's been like so weird for me. I woke up early and I'm like, I'm gonna do a lot of things, but I ended up just chilling, relaxing, loving life, and now let's do our study stream today. I kind of had an unexpected day off, and I was talking about this a little bit yesterday that I'm like, oh, I probably have the probability to stream today, so I'm focusing today on study streams because I do have one exam next week, so I'm kind of like, oh, might as well take advantage and like prepare now, right? I don't know if rainy jazz is the mood right now. Please let me know if it's like tiring, because I'm like, ooh, rainy jazz or really like bright early morning jazz. I'm like, oh, which one? But this one is just so nice. Maybe I'm also just biased towards like the little video, because normally when I study I like having these kind of videos like off to the side, so it's blocking one monitor so I don't get distracted by like scrolling on Twitter or something. But let me say my hellos, let me go do all this, and then we'll get right into it, okay? But Monte, thank you so very much for the tier 1 sub for 13 Oheki months. Thank you for the year +1. I appreciate you very much. Afternoon stream? It is an afternoon stream. And thank you for the contribution. And hi Rip, hi hello, I hope everything's been super well for ya. Welcome. Thank you also for the contribution. I appreciate ya. Let me give you a shout out as well, and then we'll get into it. Let me switch to morning jazz. Morning jazz? Is that to a beat? Thank you. Yeah, no problem. He told me hi. Welcome. I opened the stream and I'm jump scared with 100 words I've never seen before. Wait, no. I promise I'll make it as least intimidating as possible. But hi. How are you? How's life? How are your Overwatch games? I saw you were playing Apex the other day, so I'm just like, oh wait, you're playing that one game! Is that the game with the girls where you can see their backside? I was just telling my friends, I'm like, oh, I thought this was like a meme or a joke, but it's actually just, they turn and it's just sexy backside. The app, it is the booty shaking game. Hi John Day, by the way, hi. All the words on screen are quite terrifying. No, again, I'm gonna make it not terrifying. Look. See, I have my second exam coming up, right? But look, I gave my classmates a little bit of do. Oh, you can't even hear it. Hold on. There you go. See, not so scary after all with a little bit of simple flips, am I right? Their backside? I don't know how else to say it. I thought it was actually gonna be a meme, but the game's actually well made. I might have to check it out, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I am a sucker for very cute girls, and I saw like a list of like, I guess someone's like character, like all the characters they had so far, and they just look so cute. Like, it's one of those games where I'm like, that would be cute to cosplay. That's like a really sexy game, so I'm like, but the girls are so cute. But that's kind of, I assume the game's also like a gacha kind of, so yeah, check it out. If you need any gameplay help, feel free to DM. I will. Okay, I tried it out once. I don't know if I can play it on stream though. I feel like my cubs would judge me and be like, Tippa, that's too much backside shaking going on. And I'm like, listen. Anyway, oh my goodness, I might have to politely BRB randomly because my cat wants to escape my room. My cat has this really bad habit of like, oh mama, I want to be with you, mama, I hate you, and now I want to leave. So I might have to temporarily BRB just to like open the door for her. She's kind of dummy though. She's kind of dummy. I'm like, baby, the door's open. I just have a tiny bag blocking it, but you can just use your arm to push, or your tiny little head to push, and your gigantic body to push the door open. And she's like, no, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, child, it's been a year of this formatting. What do you mean? Huh? I embrace the sus. Please refer to how I set up for my stream. Do you have like a little censorship over like their bottom halves? Will you get in trouble for booty shaking? Is it sexual content not good for Twitch? No, I zoomed in. That's so good. Okay, maybe I'll get away with that. Yes, their true backside. Oh my goodness, gamers. Alright, that's another game to put on the list of games to play. But for now, we're not gaming, unfortunately. I want a game so bad. I want to play anything but studying right now, but I have to sit down and force myself to do this, because if I'm not, I'm going to be scrolling on Twitter and catching up with YouTube videos, and I don't want to do that right now. Wow. Hi Ashi, hi, welcome. Studying Galmer? I am. So, welcome, welcome. Let me give you a shout out because you've been streaming lately. The Sonic Frontiers. Now for $59.99, new game price. Anyway, so today we're going to be studying some biomechanics. This is not necessarily a new topic for the study streams as of lately, but for anyone who's coming in being like, what the heck is even biomechanics? It's basically, we break it down. Bio means life, mechanics means mechanics, life movement, let's go! Matingas, hi! Welcome, 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 welcome! Thank you for the tier 1 sub for 18 Oheki months! Wet dirt, Tipadoru, is muddy, Tipadoru. It's time, Tipadoru, to study, Tipadoru. Is that like a haiku? Wet dirt is mud. Wait, wet dirt is muddy. It's time to study. Oh no, it's a rhyme! It's a rhyme! Dingus, I'm sorry. I had to read it out again. Welcome, welcome. I hope your morning's been treating you well and work hasn't been absolute booty. Wait, who's hovering over that? I'm not anywhere near that. Hello? Idami says, yeah, it's also a gacha game, but honestly, it seems like they're gonna have one of the nicest gacha systems so far. God bless. Finally, I'm able to get cute girls without spending $100. Anyway. No, but I'm definitely checking out the game even if it's for funsies, because again, I think the characters are so cute. There's one I'm like, oh, I want to dress up as that character. Anyway, so these are my notes for biomechanics. I have an exam on, I thought what was Tuesday, but all my classmates are saying Monday. Have I double checked? No, I'm just gonna trust my classmates on this one. So this is how it's going. Normally with all my study guides, I like to put a table of content, because what my professor does is that he gives us a PowerPoint and it's like each slide is this title. So just to make sure I am aware of it, I know, I basically make a table of contents, and if I wrote more notes about it, I'm able to jump to it and be like, hey, this is finished, and we could, talk about it, But there is a lot to go over. Basically, to give you a very general idea of what we're studying in particular, is pretty much like the upper extremities and the head a lot, like the cervical spine. We're also going to talk a little bit about the thoracic and lumbar. Wait, hold on. We're talking about shoulders, we're talking about clavicles, we're talking about spine, so we're going to talk about like our cervical spine, our thoracic spine, and our lumbar spine. So that means like our neck spine, our back spine, and our lower back spine. We'll talk about how things move. It's actually really neat, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's basically like, hey, if you have trouble maybe like with shoulder flexion, so maybe like if you have trouble putting your arm all the way up and bringing your arm right by your ear, there's certain motions that trained professionals, cough cough cough, can do to help kind of how do you call it, help you with that motion, or help you get through that motion, or to help support it. I don't really know the word. You'd think I was studying this since like, let me see, what is this month? August? I've been studying this since August and I don't really know the right wording, but basically if you have trouble with flexion, we could basically push you in a certain way in the certain movement because of how your bones roll and glide, and then it's just like, oh, now you can do a little bit more because we pushed you in this certain way. It's honestly really neat. It's just like a lot to kind of maybe explain. But yeah. Kizumi says I have some reroll accounts left over, so you can let me know if you want them. Or you want one of them? Yeah? Let me see how the game goes though, because I could be like, yeah, I want to go in this game, and then I just touch it once and never again. Just like Genshin. I'm so sad. I really want to get into Genshin, and just it never hit me. And a lot of my immediate friends, with the exception of like Rip, New, Selectoro, okay, they play Genshin, but like none of them actually forced Genshin on me, so I guess it never stuck with me. What we're studying is and what we're gonna talk about is it's all I hear. Honestly, same. I hear the same thing in class, so I have to like write all these notes and like look at the study guide and be like, okay, I'm gonna teach myself today. Let's do this. So let's focus on the upper extremities, okay? So this looks really intimidating with the title alone, but this is arthrokinematics of the SC joint. SC is going to be our sternum, clavicular. So you know our collarbone? That, ooh, where's my mouse? There you go. The clavicle is going to be what we refer to commonly as our, what do you call it? The collarbone, while the sternum is going to be what we refer to as, like, you know, the bone that you have in the middle of your chest. So if you tap your chest and you feel like this hard thing, this is your sternum. The sternum is also really cool because most of our ribs, minus I think ribs 10 to 12, because those are false ribs, are going to attach to. So let me see if I could get like a better image. Sternum and ribs. Let's go. So I'm sure you cubs have seen a skeleton before. Oh no, I was incorrect, by the way. So you see, this is what we normally look like. So again, this is your collarbone or your clavicle right up here on the left, and then we have your sternum right here down the center. I'm sorry, all of your ribs except 11 and 12. 11 and 12 are considered floating ribs. The reason why they're calling floating or false ribs is because they don't connect directly to the sternum, while rib 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are all going to connect with this coastal cartilage and go on to the sternum. Bam! We're all on the same page with this wacky anatomy. But the thing you have to understand is that with biomechanics, again, we're trying to understand how does movement occur and how does movement occur in our joints. So for the SC joint, S standing again for the sternum and C standing for the clavicle, this is actually a really unique situation. So the clavicle and the sternum are going to be saddle joints. So when we refer to something as saddle is going to be like a horse saddle. So it's going to actually have a convex surface and a concave surface, which is really unique because most joints either have like one or the other, not both. But that is again a very unique characteristic of the saddle joint. So what does convex and concave even mean? So I think it might be a little bit better to see right here on the right with the sternum. Sternum. So you see the concave? Think of the word cave, and cave is normally like a hole or opening. This is going to be kind of where it divots. While the convex is like a surface that rounds, like a mountain. So convex mountain or concave cave. I think a better example to think about this is that, let's say you put your fist into, well, hold on, let's stop. If you have two hands, thank goodness, right? So one hand you ball into a fist, and one hand you make into a C shape. So this rounded mountain one that you have as a fist is going to be your convex surface, and the one that you made into a C is going to be your concave surface. You see as that cupping motion you made has like a divot into it? Yeah. So that's basically how it's going to work for most of the joints, but again, for the SC joint specifically, it has both of these surfaces. See? Concave right here on the sternum, convex, I know that's a little bit hard to see, but I promise there's a little bit of a rounding right there. And then convex, you see there's the little divot, and the concave, you see the little convex, you see the rounding right here, and the concave, you see the little divot right here. So, going on and moving ahead with that in mind, now that we got our foundation going, we have to understand that our clavicle or our collarbone does actually a lot of movement. So it could do elevation and depression. So basically, if you decide to T-pose, or maybe you don't even have to T-pose, don't T-pose, save your arm. So you shrug your shoulders, shrugging your shoulders, and then depressing your shoulders, the opposite of shrugging, bringing your shoulders down. That's gonna be a motion of elevation and depression. Elevation, you go up, you shrug the shoulders up. Depression, shrugging the shoulders down. We also have another movement in the SC joint called the protraction and retraction. So you know when someone's like, oh, squeeze your shoulder blades, go, 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 go. When you squeeze your shoulder blades, which is also a really nice stretch if you're sitting, by the way, what do you call it? That's going to be retraction, while protraction, oh, sorry, my cat stepped on my keyboard. While protraction is going to be doing the opposite of the shoulder squeezes or the shoulder blade squeezes. We're actually going to bring ourselves forward, and with that you're bringing the clavicle and the SC joint forward as well. There's also another motion that they talk about, posterior rotation, but but those are going to be our 3 degrees of freedom, or how do you say it? Degrees of freedom in a joint is how much a joint can move, and the most a joint can move is in 3 ways. So this is like maximum movement basically. So that's going to be our osteokinematics. So as a refresher for those who are not familiar with this term, osteokinematics, osteo means bone, and kinematics is going to be the movement. So this is basically just how our bones move. So elevation, depression, again, shoulders up and down, protraction, retraction, shoulder squeeze, shoulder not squeeze, and posterior rotation. Okay? Oh, hold on. I'm staring at my cat. One moment. Peas, you want to chill here or you want to leave? She's like sitting in her bed staring at me. I'm like, child, are you trying to tell me something? Baby, relax. Love life. Hear about biomechanics. Let me put you to sleep. No, I think she wants to leave. Here. Give me one moment. I'll leave. Wow, I have freed her. Alright, let's get back into it, okay? Alright. So, osteokinematics, again, is just how the bone moves. So, it's literally the bone. Like, oh, yes, our clavicle raises when we do the shoulder elevation. Or a collarbone raises when we do the shoulder elevation. So now let's move on to arthrokinematics. So again, it still has the same word kinematics, so it's going to refer to movement, but arthro is actually going to be more specific, and we're going to actually talk about the joint itself. And again, the joint that we're talking about in particular is the SC joint, sternoclavicular joint. So with that, remember, we just said it's a saddle joint. So anything with arthrokinematics, we have to understand what kind of surface does that joint have? Does it have a concave or convex? Because this big, huge that's probably not the right word. A foundational thing that we have to understand about biomechanics is that there's this thing called the concave and convex rule. And that's what's going to take apart with these SC joint. So for the concave and convex rule, what's going to happen is that if a concave surface is moving on a convex surface, so again, we can use the example again of putting your two hands, one into a fist, one into a C. The concave structure, or the one that's shaped like a C, the cupping hand motion, if it moves along your fist, oh, this is when I said I was going to do the hand cam, huh? Sorry, I'm like doing it myself and I'm like, oh wait, you guys can't necessarily see, and this is why I was just like, oh yeah, haha, wouldn't it be funny if I do that? But I did not get set up or dressed up for that, so heck. But please use your imagination. I believe. But yeah, if a concave surface is moving on a convex, what's gonna happen is that the motion, the roll and glide of the joint, is gonna occur in the same direction. Now, if we have our convex surface moving on the concave surface, or fist is actually moving, the roll and glide are gonna be in opposite directions. So, let's talk about this again in particular with the SC joint in mind. So remember, the SC joint is our saddle joint, so it's going to have two different surfaces. So yes, the concave convex rule is still going to apply. One surface is still going to be moving on the other. The issue that you need to be more specific about is, okay, but what kind of osteokinematic motion are we talking about? Are we talking about elevation, depression, or are we talking about protraction, retraction? So, let's start off easier. We're going to start off a little bit backwards. So, the clavicle's concave surface, so right here in blue, it's going to be moving on the sternum's convex surface right here. So what's going to happen is that when you do that protraction, retraction, the shoulder blade squeezes back, and the opposite motion, squeezing your shoulders away as possible, kind of bringing your arms towards you, that's going to be the motion of protraction, retraction, which is going to allow for this concave to move on the convex, which means, I know it's a lot, the roll and glide are going to be in the same direction. It's a little bit difficult to see here. I wish I had like a little gift to be like, yeah, this is just moving. But for why this is happening is because this is more like a horizontal movement. So here you go, concave, convex, and that explains why they're more horizontal. Now for a more vertical movement, which is going to be like the shoulder elevation, like the shoulder shrugging and the shoulder depressing, that's going to be the convex surface moving on the concave surface. So the convex, again, the shoulders coming up to our ears, the clavicle or collarbone coming on up, that convex surface again is moving onto our sternum, which means that the rolls and glides are going to be opposite. Bleh. And that's kind of the summary of the SC joint. We can actually see it a little bit here. This doesn't really give us particulars about it, so I apologize. But when you go up again with the shoulder, how do you say it? Elevation, you see the clavicle is going up, so the roll is going to be like this and the slide is going to be like this. And we just talked about the elevation. This convex surface is moving on the concave surface, which is why the roll is going this way, going up superiorly, but the slide is going inferiorly. Biomechanics is weird, my dudes. Alright, for depression, again, depression is going to be the same thing where a convex surface is moving on a concave surface. So the roll is going to go inferior or down, while the slide is going to be going up. Protraction, retraction, the concave surface is going to be moving on the convex surface right here, which is why you see the arrows pointing in the same direction. The roll and glide are happening in the same direction because of the concave convex roll. Alright, now let's do something that's even slightly more confusing than that. So let's talk about ST joint motion, or the scapular-thoracic joint motion. So our scapula or our shoulder blade just doesn't move all willy-nilly. It's actually going to be a combined motion of the SC and AC joint. The SC is going to be your sternoclavicular joint, which is the one that we've been focusing on for the past few minutes. And the AC joint is not something we necessarily talked about, but is it good to grab the same image? Let me see. So bringing back this previous image that we were just talking about, the reason why the joints, by the way, are joint together. That's not proper English, but that helps you remember. So this is why this is our SC joint, sternoclavicular. Our AC joint is actually going to be the acromioclavicular joint. So it's actually the space right here that's kept together by ligaments and yada 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 yada. So what's going to happen is that our shoulder blade, or the scapula, is going to be moving because of the SC joint, which is all the way over here, which is like, what? I don't get it, but we'll explain it in just a little bit. And the AC joint, which is going to be located right here. So, what do you call it? So, ST elevation, ST abduction, and ST upwards rotation. To make these motions possible, to bring your shoulder blades up into elevation, what you're gonna need is your clavicle or your collarbone to go up, and then your scapula, the actual shoulder blade itself, has to do a downward rotation, which is really weird to think about. I'm like, what does that mean? So MS Paint time, kind of. It's been a while. It's been a while. Here, let me actually pull this image really quick and copy it and see if we can put it onto Paint. Cheryl, hi, welcome. It's not letting me copy and paste it. I'll just do this. Alright. So what's happening with this one, and again we're referring to this as the ST elevation, we'll put that in bold, is that we're saying that the clavicle, which again this is going to be our clavicle right here, this is going up because the clavicle doesn't normally look like this, you know, the clavicle is pretty horizontal. It's going up, but the scapula is doing a downward rotation, which is again really weird to like show even on MS Paint. So again, I even apologize for that. But the reason why you need this downward rotation is to keep it in the center or keep it more medial, and then the scapular rotation is going to bring it up. Because to my understanding, let me see, the scapula can only do like certain motions. It could do, let me get a better color, upward rotation, or downward rotation, which we just talked about, and it could do internal and external rotation. So think of this a little bit more 3D, and it could tilt in and out. So that's actually really interesting to see and think about. So let me minimize this and talk about this again. So that's why we have ST elevation, because again we're having the clavicle elevate because of the how do you say it, the SC joint, which we were talking about right up here. Da-da! And we have the scapular downward rotation, which is again a new concept that we're talking about with the AC joint motions. The opposite of elevation is going to be depression. So instead of going up, we're going down. And to get scapular thoracic depression, we basically just have to do the opposite motion. So instead of our collarbone going up, it's coming down. And instead of the scapula going downward and doing a downward rotation, we're going to have it up. Okay? So let's talk about abduction. So it's going to require clavicle protraction, which again is going to be the shoulder blade squeezes, and scapular internal rotation. So again, remember, that's kind of thinking of it a little bit more 3D. So if you have your hand up, and you have your hand up like if you're doing a karate chop, so your thumb facing you, your internal rotation is going to be bringing your thumb in more to the center of your body, and then external rotation is bringing the thumb out. And that's what the scapula is doing right here. Oh, sorry, I was like, oh, I thought my internet died for a moment. I'm like, no. Anyway, so for abduction, we're going to do clavicle protraction and scapular internal rotation. To do the opposite, which is adduction, remember, abduction is like the word abduct, which is to take away. And abducting in the body just means to bring the body segment away from the midline. Adduction is to bring your limbs, high limb, more to the center of your the center of your body. Yes. Booga booga. Hi limb, hi. Welcome. Ooh, limb study? Yes, all the limb studies. But yeah, so then we also have ST upwards rotation. So for upwards rotation, we're gonna need the clavicle going up, and oh boy, you see that clavicle going way up here. And we're also gonna have scapular rotation upwards as well, which is gonna allow for the ST upwards rotation. That one I feel is a little bit more straightforward than the other ones, because it's like, what's protraction? What's internal rotation? What's this? What's that? It's a little bit weird. And remember, to do the opposite, the downwards rotation, we're going to do the opposite motion. So the clavicle right here, or again our collarbone, is going to go down, and then the upwards rotation is going to be downwards rotation, and that's how we're going to have downwards rotation of the ST motion, or again our scapular thoracic motion. Here's a basic thing that he put from the PowerPoint, but I just rewrote it and put better images. Because I guess I could kind of understand this, but I didn't like it as much. It's like, ooh, elevation, depression, abduction, adduction. Oh, well, okay, now, I'm sorry. Now that I actually sat down, I understand that. But these are just the basic motions rather than the combined motions. So, boo, boo. Shoulder blades are your favorite bones? Hecka. Shoulder blades are pretty nice, honestly. I think it's a very unique feature that a lot of people have. How do you call it? There's this really interesting thing that I learned, like one of the first like impairments that I learned in graduate school. It's called something like wing scapula, and I don't know if it's too graphic to show you, Cubs. So basically, like if you were going to put the palms of your hands against the wall and you push against the wall, your shoulder blades should not really be too visible, right? But if you do that with someone who has this symptom called wing scapula, their wing scapula, or their scapula, is gonna wing out, and it's just gonna kind of poke through their back. Yeah, I'll show you a picture. Hold on. Wing scapula. Ba-ba-da-ba. I think, sorry, I know there's someone on my document right now, but you see something like that? Or I think this might be a better picture. you see, they're doing the same motions as they're just pushing, right? They're doing protraction. But what happens is that their scapula or their shoulder blade just pops down. It's like, huh? What? So really, really interesting. Alright. So let's move on and let's actually talk about something a little bit easier than the ST and AC joint and the ST motions. Let's talk about glenoid humeral arthrokinematics. So again, we're going about joint motion. I'm sorry, this one doesn't have any pictures, but again, we can use our hands as examples. So, one hand into a fist, the other hand into a C shape, and we'll put them together. So the glenoid humeral is actually going to be referring to your shoulders. So your shoulders are actually considered a ball and socket joint. So let me see if I can get you like a better picture to like understand. Let me see. So, sorry, it doesn't have to be this obnoxiously big, but you see, this is your scapula. Here's your scapula. Here's your collarbone or clavicle. Here's the AC joint with this is the acromion. This is the coracoid process. Now I'm just showing my anatomy knowledge here, but the thing we want to focus on is in the green. This glenoid fossa from the scapula, and then the head of the humerus right here, that's gonna form the glenoid, again, glenoid fossa, humeral coming from humerus, joint. And again, this is a ball and socket joint. Why? Because this is a very round ball structure, and this is gonna be our actual socket. This is gonna be the little thing where we're gonna cup the ball into. So let's talk about arthrokinematics really quick. So again, hand into a fist, hand into a C. We got our ball and socket. The C is going to be your glenoid fossa. The head of the the humerus is going to be your ball. So when we're doing glenoid humeral external rotation, what's going to happen is that we're going to do, again, our roll and glide, the concave convex roll. Well, we know our humerus is a ball, so that's definitely going to be our convex surface, while the glenoid fossa is going to be our concave surface. So what's happening for most of these motions is that because it's mostly, our glenoid fossa doesn't really move. Let's just say that it's more of our arm, and we've experienced that throughout most of our life. Yeah. So this convex surface is going to be moving for the majority part, and if the convex surface is moving on the concave in accordance to the concave convex rule, that means it's going to have an opposite roll and glide. So the roll is always going to follow the osteokinematic movement, which is, it sounds complicated, but it's basically like, let's do external rotation. So pretty much if you were to put like your elbows to your side and you're doing like a little L shape where you look like Mr. Roboto basically, and you bring your arms out or your hands out towards your back, that's external rotation, while the opposite is going to be internal rotation. So as you see, when you do that motion, you are bringing your hands back. So again, the roll is going to follow that, oh, your hand is going back, so you're doing a posterior roll. Posterior is just another word for backside. So again, because of the concave convex roll being like, okay, opposite roll, opposite glide, because you have a posterior roll, you're gonna have an anterior glide. Anterior, by the way, is just another word for front. Sorry, like all these like wacky anatomical terms, but so again, as our arms are going back in that external rotation, it's gonna have a posterior roll and an anterior glide. So let's think the opposite. Let's talk about internal rotation. So again, our elbows are still shaped like a robot. We have our elbows close to our waist or sides. We have our arms up. Now bring your hands towards the midline of your body, or onto your tummy, or towards your tummy. So as you roll, as you're doing the internal rotation, you're going to be rolling anteriorly, because it's definitely not your backside. You're rolling towards the front. So again, with the concave convex roll, we're going to have a posterior glide. I wish I had little movements. But with the ball and socket example, it pretty much does the same thing. If you're moving forward, if you're moving back, etc., etc. The only weird wacky thing with ball and socket joints in more specifically is that, yes, we could talk about rolls and glides all days, but there's another movement that we don't really talk about, but it's not necessarily exclusive to ball and socket joints, but it's most common that you see it. But our joints can actually spin, you know, like Spain without the A. Man, next time I do this, I'm naming my stream that. No more powdered coffee creamer. But I'm not gonna lie, that thing did save my life this morning. Very small tangent about powdered coffee creamer. So I normally like to have half and half, but I didn't drink coffee like every day. I'm not like super reliant on coffee. Or I don't wake up early enough to make coffee. Better answer. So I feel like sometimes my half and half went bad because I'm the only one who uses the half and half. So I'm kind of like, But powdered creamer, on the other hand, will never expire on me. Ever. And it's just so good to put in and so easy. You don't have to worry about spoilage for a long time. That's the life. I recommend everyone transferring over. Oh no! Hi Sunny, hi, welcome. Hi Tips, I can't join your stream because I'm at work right now, but I'm gonna lurk behind the scenes. Absolutely no hecking problem. I know I'm streaming like really early, but I'm like, I have to get the studying done. I have to do it. So thank you for joining, I appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah. So our joints can spin, so spin without the A, and what's gonna happen is that same concept about the opposite roll and glide. So basically, when you're doing shoulder flexion, so if you have your arm to your side and you're bringing it up, so you can bring your arm all the way up to your ears, because you're moving in that anterior plane, it's going to spin, or anterior meaning front, and you're moving towards the front of your body, the spin is going to be opposite, so you're going to have a posterior spin. But if you're doing extension, so if you have your arm up, don't have your arm up. Let's think about everything in anatomical position. So anatomical position for your arms is that you have your arms to your side with the palms up. So or palms out, not up, I'm sorry. So when you're doing shoulder extension or glenoid humeral extension, you're bringing your arm back. And when you bring your arm back, you're moving posteriorly. So with that, we're going to do the opposite and have an anterior spin. The reason why these spins and rolls and glides are super important, by the way, other than just allowing us to have movement, is that so we don't pop our arm out of our socket. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, okay? But give me one moment. Hold on. Let me grab some water. I'm going to like cough. Hold on. Blah. Sorry about that. Hi Glenn, hi, welcome. Are we getting learned? Yeah, it's like getting turned, but learning. Lim says join it back? Or oh no, I'm getting too turned, am I right? Throw it back, yeah, basically. So again, if you're in anatomical position where your arms to your side and your palms facing up, if you bring your arm towards the back or towards your booty, basically, what's gonna happen is that that's gonna be your glenoid humeral, or again your shoulder or your arm extending backwards. Oh, hi Zach, hi, welcome. I didn't even know there's an education category. Not necessarily, to be honest. Education, according to Twitch. It's actually a adventures horror game, I guess, which I mean that's what education's all about. It's a very scary journey, but knowledge is power, my dude, you know. But no, there's not really an education stream, but I feel like this was a little bit better to say than just putting it as just chatting, because when people want just chatting, they're like, oh my gosh, how's your day, let me learn more about you, let's chat and have nice conversations, while me putting the education game is like, damn, this girl is learning. It's actually a topic to my just chatting, I guess. So it's just to keep my cubs informed, you know, but it's a-okay. I don't mind. So let's talk about another glenohumeral joint motion. So we can talk about abduction and adduction. So again, abduction is bringing it away, or abducting, or like the aliens, ooh, or child kidnapping. And we can also talk about the opposite motion, which is going to be glenohumeral adduction, which again is to bring it in, adding it close to you, putting it towards your midline of the body. So for glenohumeral abduction, what's going to happen is that, again, so let's think anatomical position, arms to the side, palms up. For abduction, you want to bring your arms away from the midline of your body, away from the center of your body. So what's going to happen is that, yes, you are going in a superior direction, so we're going to have that superior roll, but we're going to have an inferior glide. From that same position, and we bring our arms close to us, back down to our sides, that's going to be glenohumeral adduction, which means that we're going to have the not the opposite. Well, we are going to have the opposite, but we're also going to have the opposite of abduction. So, you know, for abduction, we're having a superior roll, while bringing it back down, we're bringing our arms down back inferiorly, which is why there's an inferior roll. And with that roll, because it's a convex moving on a concave surface, we're going to have a superior glide. So there you go. And then this is like the same thing, but with his PowerPoints and pictures. I don't remember if he wanted us to know about stretching, but it looks like everything seems okay. Posterior roll and anterior glide of the humerus. For flexion, it's a stretch of the posterior capsule and inferior capsule ligament. Oh, okay. And anterior spin or extension is going to result in the stretching of the anterior capsule ligament, so the superior, middle, and anterior band of the inferior. Okay, so anterior is going to stretch anterior capsule ligaments, posterior is going to stretch posterior. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So remember when I talked about why rolls and spins are not only important just for general motion, it's also going to be really important to make sure that your arm doesn't pop out of your hecking arm, you know? Or your arm socket. So the importance of roll and glide mechanisms during abduction. So what's going to happen, let me erase that, is he gave us this graph basically. Yeah, I don't remember. No, I'm just kidding. Let me think. Thinking noises. I could just read it too, I guess. So basically what's gonna happen is that when your shoulder abducts, so when we're getting to that T-pose, you see our arm is coming all the way up. And it doesn't have to be T-pose. Maybe we could do like a praise the sun pose basically. So we have our arms up in a diagonal motion like this. But what happens is that the more that you bring your arm up, especially maybe around here, you're gonna have this decrease in the subacromial space. And the subacromial space is gonna be subacromium. So below. Whoa. We're getting another picture, Cups. Hold on. Subacromial space. Where's a decent picture? I guess we can get this baby picture, am I right? Actually, I can keep this one into the PowerPoint, I'm pretty sure too, huh? No! Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry to whoever else is in this document. Formatting sucks! Alright, anyway, I just put it out to the side here, that's fine. It's whatever. So what's gonna happen is that, remember how we were talking about the AC joint earlier? So this is your clavicle, right here. And then we have the acromion right here. And what's gonna happen is that sub means below. Like, you know, sub-zero temperatures, ooh, below freezing. Yeah, anyway. So here's the acromion, and here's the subacromial space. So what's gonna happen is that we'll go back to this graph right here. As you bring your arm up into elevation, what's gonna happen is that you're making the space smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, which can be a trouble because sometimes people have this thing called impingement. And that's why sometimes when you ask someone to raise their arm and they're like, I can't, I have pain, it's because their pain is going to be located here because there's an impingement. So let's kind of read through this like little side notes and try to regurgitate the information with this. So the importance of the slide above is to emphasize that rolls and glides do occur. Yeah. And why opposite rolls and glides are important. It is to ensure that the humeral head in the joint does not get displaced. It is important to maintain a critical height or space between the humeral head and the inferior surface of the acromion, known as the subacromial space, which we see right here. The critical space is smaller in the range of 60 to 100 degrees of the shoulder abduction, which is why there can be a painful arc sign. And that painful arc sign is a sign of impingement. So you see right here, 60 to 120, our graph literally dips right here with the distance. Ooh. And that's how people can end up with impingement, because we do have stuff going through this and yada 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 yada. Anyway, that's that. Oh, I guess I should probably explain why the rolls and glides are important. So even though you're elevating, making sure that this is still going down or having that inferior glide is going to help maintain the head of the humerus into the glenoid fossa, which is why our arm just doesn't hecking pop up if we extend it too much, you know? Alright, moving on. So this one is going to be a little more dry, and I want to apologize because I'm just like, I don't necessarily understand it myself, and I want to ask my professor about it. But in our textbook for biomechanics, this guy decides that, there's 6 kinematic principles. So the 6 kinematic principles, again, the 6 movement principles, this is going to be in reference to our upper extremities, or our arms, or the clavicle, or all the joints that we've been talking about lately. We'll read it out loud right here, and then I have like little notes kind of going more in particular with it, okay? Maybe we should just go to the one with the notes though. So basically, the 6 principles are basically, can be referred to as glenoid humeral rhythm. And the rhythm is not just like, we're moving and grooving. It's basically how our body like works in this rhythm to make sure it functions correctly. So one of his principles is that there's a 2-to-1 ratio of GH to ST. So a 2-to-1 ratio of glenoid humeral to ST, which is our scapulothoracic, which is the one that had all those wacky motions. So what does that mean? Is that let's say we elevate our arms to 120 degrees. What do you call it? A glenoid humeral flexion. Remember, 2-to-1 ratio, so half of that, we're going to have about 60 degrees of scapulothoracic motion. And that makes sense, because if we scroll back all the way up, we bring our arm up, again, maybe to like the praise the sun position. I think that's like roughly 120, yeah? Oh, I have to catch up on my degrees of flexion, hold on. 100 degrees of shoulder elevation. Yeah? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So let's put this image really quick. Sorry. So yeah, 120 degrees right here. That means that the upward rotation that we would see in our shoulder blade is going to be about 60 degrees. Yeah. Oh, I thought you said arc sign. Was hoping for more trigonometry? Is this not enough for you, Robo? Is this not enough? Hi, Robo. Hi. Welcome. But yeah, this is how our body moves. Welcome. There's normal degrees of motion. Everyone should have at least normal flexion of 180 degrees. 0 is basically us to our side, and then extension normal should be about 60 degrees, 50 to 60. There's always ranges, and then there's actually 2 different sources for normal, so that's kind of wacky. So that's one of the principles. The second one is going to be 60 degrees of upward rotation of the ST joint from sternoclavicular elevation and AC upwards rotation. Interesting, weird. Sure. I'll just read it and hope that I memorize it. 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees of elevation upwards rotation, because we know AC upwards rotation and SC elevation is going to make the motion of upwards rotation and the ST joint, because we had this whole discussion right up here. Bam! Hi Tamik, hi, welcome. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I walked into a ballerina posing as a clock. No, but what is that really popular show that people said they watched as kids? The comfy clock girl, comfy clock couch girl. But I feel like when you had said that, I felt like I had this visualization in my head. Hold on, like this. Back there, hi, welcome. What are we learning today? How to be a ballerina. No, I'm just kidding. We're learning how to be what do you call it? Biomechanics pro of the upper extremities. So far. Well, welcome. We're actually just going through some principles, so again, this is a little bit more cut and dry, unfortunately, so please forgive me. I feel like it's also been a while, so hi, welcome. Alright. Know that the clavicle is going to retract that SC joint during abduction. So what does this mean? The clavicle or our collarbone is going to retract. So again, remember that shoulder blade squeezing? That's going to be the motion of retracting at the SC joint, so our sternoclavicular joint, during abduction. I'm like doing the motion right now, so I'm like, oh yeah, I guess. I hate the principles. Anyway, our fourth principle out of the 6 is going to be the AC joint, or acromioclavicular joint, is going to posterior tilt. Tilt. Wait, did they write it like this? Hold on. I mean, yeah, tilt. And, huh? AC joint posteriorly tilts and may ER scapular a full abduction? Huh? AC joint posteriorly tilts and may externally rotate scapula at full abduction. We're getting paint out. We're getting paint out. Tired of this. Tired of not being able to visualize. Alright, love it when they mean posteriorly tilt. I mean like what? Alright, so this is your clavicle, right? This is your AC joint, and it's saying that it's posteriorly tilting. And it may externally rotate the scapula, which means that I guess it's also going back at full abduction. So if you're like bringing your arm all the way, huh? You're bringing your arm all the way out, and as you bring your arm up here, huh? I guess. It's going, so both your AC joint and your scapula are basically going backwards as your arm raises up. I guess I do feel it. Anatomical book illustrations by Tipanya. I am not gonna lie to you. Oh my gosh, I wish I could find this. There's this website that I like using called KenHub, and one of the examples they used was like the most, and like you knew this person like drew anime, and I'm just like, oh, let me see if I can find it. I think it was for Bell's palsy. I did not expect a cadaver of a face. I did not want to see that. Oh my gosh, cadavers are so scary. Oh my god. No, I wish I could find it. Maybe it was not for Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy, by the way, is like the paralysis of your face, by the way, of one side. So you know when someone's like this is the anatomy, by the way. So you know when someone's like smiling because they're happy? So they're like that's basically Bell's palsy. You put like the one line down. So they're trying to smile, but the other face is paralyzed because blah blah blah, facial nerve. Bad. So it's actually really interesting. I think I'm not gonna lie to you, and I don't want to bring her. Let me see. Does she have Bell's palsy? So not to bring this person up. Malala, who is a feminist activist. I think you might have heard her a lot because of the whole all the stuff happening in the Middle East and all that. I just saw a video with her and her husband, by the way. But when I saw her like smiling, but I noticed that like half her face was paralyzed because of obviously the bullet wound and that there's damage that you just can't repair. And she's actually like a really good example of that situation happening, but I feel like really disrespectful if I bring her face up, so I'm just gonna bring this image. So this is like the same thing. This person again is smiling on one side, but because facial nerve damage, they're really unable to close this, and there's actually drooping of the mouth, even though they're just trying to smile. Blah. Why is Tip studying anatomy for? Because I wanna be cool and know anatomy and know how my body works, I guess. I want a decent living, and I thought learning anatomy would be the way to go, but it's just taking so long. It's just taking so long. Are you studying medicine? No. I think that's like my favorite thing. Like, Tippa, just tell us what you study. Nah. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like that person. But I am studying anatomy, basically. Oh yeah, remember Justin Bieber? Oh yeah, Justin Bieber did have something like that, right? But it was like a rare form. Justin Bieber disorder. Yeah, he had Ramsay. Oh my goodness, Ramsay Hunt syndrome. Imagine the payoff though. You'll be able to afford all this stuff. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I think he has a more severe form of the facial palsy. Hold on. So not to bring his face up here, but let's actually learn about this really quick because I'm actually interested. This has nothing to do with biomechanics, by the way. So you see, it is like, is it not just a form of Bell's palsy? Let's learn from this PowerPoint. It is a rare neurological disorder characterized by paralysis of the facial nerve and a rash affecting the ear or mouth. So this is the same, but it's caused by the virus that causes chickenpox. Huh. That's honestly so interesting, but I feel like again, it's so like very severe. Sorry, that's actually what do you call it? Copy and paste is not transparent, so you can't see the neat words. But yeah, it's just Bell palsies with a rash apparently. That's what I'm getting from here. Nydia, hi! Welcome. I hope you've been super well, loving life. But no, seriously, it's been a while since I caught you, so I hope everything's been super well for you. But yeah, body kind of scary. Learning nerves is kind of scary. I think, next semester I think I have neuroscience, so we could talk all about this. And look, listen, I don't have a passion for neuroscience whatsoever. I actually do not want to work in neuro. But I think a lot of the nerve disorders are really cool, especially like the visual ones. I think those are fun to learn about, because I think it's really interesting to be like, oh yeah, you can lose like half your vision. Not like in one eye. I mean like, get the pain out. Get the pain out. Alright, so teehee. So you know how you have two eyes, right? Now let's see this one as well. Yeah. So what happens is that you could actually lose vision in half your eye. So you're only able to see from this side, which is actually really interesting to me. So it's like kind of like you're a horse in New York City where they have like the little like blinders, you know, the horse, the horse with the blinders, like the Dragon Ball Z characters, the Dragon Ball Z character, the Vegeta. Yeah, yeah, he's like that, but he can't see. I've never watched Dragon Ball Z in my life. Can I draw you? I'll draw you in your hyena form. How do hyenas look? I just think I drew a bear. Bark at me. What would be my power level? I don't know. Hold on. Let's see. My power level? Does this not intimidate you? Does this not intimidate you, Cubs? Let's see. Do we bring like the memes in here? Alright, and then when we do this, and then we do that, and then we do that, but then we do this, but then we also have to put it like parallel. There you go. I'm glad I made some art. It's been a while. Oh my goodness. Tip's power level depends on her band-aid. So true. As you see, I didn't draw the band-aid because I wanted to be minimalistic. And so you see, it's definitely over 9,000. Alright, I'm saving that image. There's just something about it. Oh, Mr. Dark Souls, hi, welcome. I heard you're smart. Whoever said that's lying to you. I hope you know that. I want to have an honest conversation with you, Cubs. I just want to let you know that I'm actually not smart, and that's not me being modest. It's just me trying to put the time to it to try to be able to pass. But thank you, I do appreciate it, but they're lying. You're gonna have nightmares? Why? Why are you gonna have nightmares? It's not like a scary image. I don't even know how to draw scary, to be honest. I don't know. Alright, MS Paint away. When Tippa pulls off the bandage, you know you're hacked? Honestly, yeah. Hello? Hello? Anyway. Let's just read through these and let's talk about like the nicer things in life. So another principle, his fifth principle, by the way, the Newman 6 kinematic principles which we were talking about earlier, is that the clavicle or the collarbone is going to posterior rotate during the abduction, and the GA joint is going to externally rotate during the abduction. So why this is important? Because it's to maintain the location of the greater tubercle, which is going to be underneath the acromion. So the greater tubercle is just a landmark on your humerus or your arm bone. Excuse me. And for elevation, you're going to need that external rotation. As you see, the GH joint is going to externally rotate to clear the greater tubercle out of that acromion. If the greater tubercle is not allowed to engage, basically you have a very limited range of motion, and when you move a person's arm, you're going to have a hard end field, which is not normal. A hard end field is basically like elbow extension. So if you were to bring your arm out, that feeling that you feel, it's pretty hard. It's bone on bone, basically. A lot of your other end fields are soft or firm. So soft is like if you flex your elbow, that's not bone to bone, and you can kind of feel the squishiness of your arm, right? That's a soft end field. Hard end field, again, is going to be extension, and for the most time, a lot of things are going to be a firm end field. Knowing end fields is important because, again, if you are having a bony end field with this when you're not supposed to, and you're supposed to be feeling something firm, then it's an indication that, hey, something's wrong. So yeah. Alright, let's get out of here. So he wants us to know some other notable muscles, and this is kind of not boring, but I feel bad because we don't really have images. So let's see if I could just look up shoulder flexors and an image will pull out so we can talk about it a little bit more. So much power level, it's scary, right? I'm ferocious. Sorry, gal. Anyway, so let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do that. So let's talk about our shoulder flexors. So again, shoulder flexing, or the muscles are going to help with shoulder flexing. Again, just bring your arm up to your head. It's going to be the anterior deltoid. So your deltoid is this very triangular muscle right here, and there's different fibers that do different motions. So we have like the anterior, middle, and inferior deltoid. The anterior deltoid, anterior meaning from, which is this one, is going to help with shoulder flexion. We also have the coracoid brachialis, which is not here, but the coracoid brachialis is going to insert to your coracoid process, which should be around here, and insert somewhere here by your biceps. We have your biceps, yeah, which helps with shoulder flexion, yeah. And then we have the clavicular head of the pec major. So our pec major is going to be this big chunky muscle right here, like your boobie muscle basically. Speaking of pectoralis major, you see how it says clavicle head? So there's going to be a clavicle head and a sternal head. You see, because of how it inserts. So it's going to have kind of slightly different motions because of how it's attached or where its insertions are. Or, well, I guess both origins and insertions. So for the clavicular head, it's actually going to be right here, and it's going to help with shoulder flexion or bringing it up to about 90 to 100 degrees. The rest of the muscles are going to help bring it up because, again, we just established that normal shoulder flexion is 180 degrees. Bring your arm all the way straight up. The sternal head, which is right about here, this is actually going to help with shoulder extension, and it's going to bring it from that 90 to 100, that shoulder flexion that we had. So maybe about like if you bring your arm up to maybe about like a Y at a 45-degree angle away from you. I don't know, that seems like roughly 120 degrees, but it's really hard to visualize, I'm sorry. From there, it can help with shoulder extension, bringing your arm back down to your side, and that bringing it down to your side is going to help with neutral. Both the clavicular head and the sternal head of the pectoralis major, this muscle right here, is also going to help with adduction, so bringing your arm towards your midline or bringing it to your side. Internal rotation, which is going to be what we talked about with the elbows to the side and bring your hands to your tummy. And horizontal adduction, so basically bringing your arm straight in front of you, like, I don't know, like a zombie. But now T-pose. And then from the T-pose, bring yourself into that zombie position, and that's going to be horizontal adduction. Again, adduction, bringing it closer to you, horizontal because the sun rises on the horizon. Yes. Some scapular stabilizers are something that we have to know. So, hold on. So for your shoulder blade, we do have some muscles that are going to help stabilize and keep the congruency of both of your scapulas being aligned. Again, because we have a left shoulder blade and a right shoulder blade. Also, these muscles are going to help attach to the thoracic walls or to your ribs because, I'm not going to lie to you, Cubs, your shoulder blades are not connected by anything. It's only the muscles and everything that are going to help kind of keep it together. But yeah, your scapula is basically free floating, my dude. Or again, your shoulder blades. So muscles are going to help stabilize it. It's going to be your trapezius, which is going to be the let's get better images now. Big Cam, go 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 go. Hi Big Cam, hi. Let me give you a shout out. Welcome. Oh, I forgot you had an impromptu stream yesterday. How's God of War? Welcome. I'm losing my voice. Hold on. Politely dies. It's very good. I'm glad. The only thing I've seen of it was some dumb meme. Let me see if I can pull up the meme. Hold on. My arms will fall off? No, Robo. You have the muscle strength. I believe in your abilities not to have your arm come off. See, this is the only image I've seen. Or post. Hold on. No, I have no shame. I'm sorry to whoever's on my document. This is the only post I've seen about God of War. Sorry. Good morning. Good morning. But yeah, I hope you're having lots of fun with it. I also saw there's like a DLC for that game that looks like they're made out of ragdolls. I don't remember. There was just a DLC for that. That's the only thing I've heard of God of War, but I'm glad it's very good. I'm glad it's treating you well. Alright, oh wait, I have to get a picture of the trapezius. Hold on. Trapezius. Alright, I got it. So your trapezius muscle is actually going to be really cool. This is like a very triangular muscle. So right here. And then what's going to happen, or a diamond-shaped muscle, sorry, let me not say triangular. And what's going to happen is that's really cool. It's actually attached to the base of your neck and it comes all the way down here. You also have to understand that the trapezius is such a big muscle that it actually is divided into 3 parts. We have your upper, your middle, and your lower trapezius. And with this, they're all going to do different functions, but all 3 of them combined are going to help stabilize your scapula. As you see, it's kind of providing a little bit of stabilization. We also have your serratus anterior, the levator scapula. Let me see if I can grab pictures of those really quick. One moment. Too lazy to type serratus anterior. Sonic God of Frontiers. Honestly, we love the variety. Is this a good picture? So, your serratus anterior is actually going to be right here, off to your side. So it's really cool because like, let's say basically you put your 4 fingers to the side of your body, approximately here. That's basically the rough direction and the rough like fiber directions in the rough area where that serratus anterior is going to be. And this is really cool because the serratus anterior actually helps you with this thing called protraction, which is a motion. It's a motion that we were talking about earlier. So basically, if you have your arm up like a zombie, but then you form into a fist and then you punch out, you can feel your serratus anterior working. You can feel the side of your muscles, or that muscle on the side of your torso, going as you punch out. Ta-da! This doesn't have a good example of the other ones that I want to show you. So that's another muscle that's going to help stabilize the scapula, because its origins are actually on the anterior side of the scapula. It covers actually all of that, you know? So let's talk about levator scapula and our rhomboids. Let me see if I can put rhomboids. Rhomboids. Blood Knight, hi, welcome. I'm sorry, I'm like, teach, I'm here to learn. I'm glad. Welcome. Alright, I think this is a decent image. A little low quality, but it is what it is. So your levator scapula is really cool because it's named after its action. It's gonna levate or elevate the scapula, so it's gonna help with that like muscle shrugging, like I don't know. We also have your rhomboid minor and your rhomboid major right here. So minor right here on top, major on the bottom. These are also going to have insertions right here on the border of the scapula, which is why it serves as the, one of the scapula stabilizers. And we also have the trapezius right over this. We don't have the trapezius over here because the rhomboid muscles as well as the levator scapula muscles are more deeper to the trapezius, because the trapezius is like one of your most superficial muscles. Oh, they also have the lats, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with lats, but let me double check really quick and get a picture for you, because I think the lat insertion is like really cool. Hi K-Dog, hi, welcome. Peekaboo Tiffy, I see you. How's studying going? It's going well. I think after this little section I might take a little baby break though, like a little bit. Tiny bits, I can refill my water and all that. But welcome home. Welcome back from work. I hope work is treating you super well. We're just talking about scapula, trapezius, scapula stabilizers, yay! And then this is actually your latissimus dorsi, so it's gonna actually originate from the or come off the iliac crest on your hip, all the way up to here. About, I think this is T7, your thoracic spine 7th. And then it's actually going to insert onto the back of your humerus. And I think that's actually just super cool. It's a huge muscle, and I feel like a lot of like gym bros talk about like, yeah, I'm going to work out my lats, I'm going to work out my back, and they do like this like arm motions as well. And it's like, wait, why are they doing their arm motions if they're trying to do their back? And I mean, look where it inserts. But it's also a scapular stabilizer for the inferior angle, by the way. Huh? Don't mind me just turning on my screen record like my online classes. Hey, I'm gonna upload the VOD, I promise. Yeah, probably my ankle heels. I sprained my ankle recently so I can feel inflammation or pain. I'm so sorry. But hey, what ligament did you tear? Is it a grade 1, grade 2, or grade 3 ankle sprain? I hope it's not a grade 3. That's actually pretty severe. But yeah, with sprains and all that, you are gonna have pain and inflammation. Grade 2? Oh, that's so bad. I'm so sorry. So, I'm so sorry, K-Dog. I'm gonna out you out for a little anatomy lesson. So it's gonna heal? Yeah, no, thankfully. Grade 2 ankle sprain. So this is actually going back to our going back to our gross anatomy lecture. So that was something about last semester. And what happens with the grade 2 is, what happens with ankle sprains in general is that the foot is going to invert. So basically, have you ever heard of someone rolling on their ankle? Basically, that's what they do. And then, so this is what normal is supposed to be like. This is grade 1, where you have like a slight sprain or slight tear. Not slight tear, it's not a tear yet. Grade 2 is when you actually have the tears of the 2 ligaments. And grade 3 is when all 3 ligaments of the ankle tear, which is super serious and may require even surgery. Grade 2, you will most likely heal well without surgical procedures, but it's gonna be the idea of like, hey, you just have to be really careful, my dude. But yeah, all the time, by the way, it's gonna be your ATFL ligament, or the anterior talofibular ligament. Is always gonna be involved across each grade. It's where you also involve the calcaneofibular ligament, which is why it's a little more serious. And then grade 3, you're also going to include the posterior talofibular ligament as well. Anyway, we're done. I hope that your sprain does heal though, and I'm glad it's just a grade 2, but still really bad. So I'm sorry. Make sure to price it up, my dude. Price it up, my dude. Protection, rest, ice, compression, and elevation to, you know, reduce swelling. But yeah, hopefully the x-ray results come soon. Yeah, no, for sure. Holy heck. Speaking of ligaments, we could talk about our elbow ligaments, which is pretty crazy, but I'm actually gonna take a small little tiny baby break. I just want some more water, and we're actually almost an hour and a half into our study stream, so yay. Tipa dropping some mad mnemonics once again. No, that's what they teach you for any injury, basically. Like, it's rice, but now it's price, because now we understand that we have to go like protect ourselves, you know? Breathe, breath. I will do plenty of inhalation and exhalation on my tiny baby break. But thank you, Blood Knight. Thank you. And thank you, Robo, for the contribution for karaoke. Yay! How far are we actually right now? Let's see. 35? Heck yeah. I can't lower the goal. I'm so sorry, Cubs. I'm so sorry. I wish I could lower the goal, but I can't. I would have put it to 300. But I thought we got it really fast last time, so I was like, whatever, 500. We'll get it by January maybe. Nah. K-Duck says, yeah, thank you, Tippy, for the praise. Yeah, no problem. Again, I'm sorry that you got injured. I'm just blah. Blah. No. No. Can you increase how much we pitch in at a time, though? I don't actually think so. Let me double check something really quick. Twitch. I can check for you really quick. The only thing I think I can actively do right now is, let's see. Let's see, what can I do? I think I can only increase the time. Manage rewards. Yeah, so I could trash it. But I don't know what that means. Should I trash it? Do I do that? Because that's the only way, because I can extend it. Nada. But I don't know. Nydia, thank you for the contribution. Because I could put a little less. I could put like 375,000. But I'm pretty sure the points would go back to you, Cubs, too, if I were to trash it. But you would have to start from the beginning, and I think you could only contribute 2,000 at a time. I don't see anywhere where I can increase the max rate, though, so I apologize. I know some Cubs are like, I probably have like a lot of channel points, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Little by little, it'll just motivate me to stream more, you know? But yeah. Let me just be right back really quick though, okay? And then we'll get this all settled. Fair? Yeah. Because I know another channel that I like watching had a channel point redeem, and I'm like, oh boy, I have enough money for the school, but I can't download it. I'm so sad. Alright. VRD. Let me get a raffle setting for you, Cubs, as well, okay? So, one hecky moment! Alright, Gubs, I don't know if you're familiar with this. I recently decided to become a coffee snob. No, I'm just kidding. This is not a coffee snob whatsoever. But I forget what it's called exactly. But I invested in those like little stovetop espresso makers, like the little tiny ones, and it's honestly so cute. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me see if I can grab a picture of it. I don't think I did it right the first time, and I'm like, my coffee isn't being made. I'm so sad. Oh look. Oh wait, no, hold on. Let me see if I can grab a picture. Ta-da! Why is it so big? Capsule coffee? Is that also what it's called? Capsule coffee. Let's see. Oh no, not like the like K-cups or anything like that. One of these because I don't know, I just had this like really fond memory of one of my classmates making me coffee. Like I had stood over at her house because we were having like a study session, and she's like, "You're more than welcome to stay the night because we're gonna go early in the morning to campus," and she lived much closer to campus than I did. So I'm like, yeah, of course, and she made me coffee in one of these, and I'm just like, this is so good. And she's like, yeah, I can make like Cuban style coffee and everything like that in here, and it's just really easy. And I'm like, I want to try. So I found one of these on sale for like $5, and it's just really nice. But when I had first used it, I was like, it's not doing anything. I guess I didn't have the heat up high enough, but I was like, oh, Tippa, use medium heat. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I waited a very long time on medium heat, and I'm like, oh, it's not doing anything. But I left it on the stove because, you know, you're not supposed to put like hot metallic objects into the sink because blah blah deformity, blah blah blah, whatever, and splash cold water to try to wash it. No, you have to wait for it to cool down. But when I went to go check on it to like just go wash it, it made coffee. It made like a little bit of coffee. And I'm like, what? And the worst part was that I put a little bit of sugar into like the top part, right? So now I made coffee this morning because I'm like, oh, whatever, it's these grounds didn't go through, I'm gonna put it on high. I put it like, I cranked it to like a 9 out of 10 on my my stove, and it started making coffee. I was like, oh, yeah, let's go. I'm so happy. And I made my coffee. The coffee was delicious this morning. I used a little bit of my powdered creamer as well. Thank you. Not sponsored, by the way. And now the sugar has caramelized onto the pot. So that's how my break went, by the way. Because I'm like, oh, it finally cooled off from this morning. Oh, let me just put it in the sink, and I'll just like leave it soaking in water. By opening it, it's just like caramelized sugar on the bottom. I'm like, oh, I have to scrub that later. Just wait, she'll become a pressed coffee snob any moment now. Please. I did want to actually try like French pressed coffee, and I remember buying like a cup from like IKEA or something, but I haven't got there. But I know there's a lot of people who are like, ooh, Starbucks coffee bad. You gotta grind it up like this and do this and press it like this, and how do I explain that? Like the people who press their coffee in the espresso machine. Oh, they do something like this now, and I don't think I ever told you Cubs this, but when I was younger, I think I just like hit. No, it's probably Forever 17 just for like a little bit. I wanted a barista job because I had already barista job experience before, and I'm like, oh yeah, I used to work at the Bucks of Stars, and I was going to work at this really super fancy hotel that had the super fancy espresso machines where it's like, oh, we don't make it like the Bucks of Stars, but we make it like this. We grind the coffee, we put it here, and this person did it wrong because they're supposed to even it out because it's similar to a pour over where you want to make sure the flavor is distributed and blah 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 blah. Anyway, not the point. The point is they made coffee like this, and I'm like, wow, so interesting, so fun, so cute. Seems like more work, but okay. Anyway, the reason why I bring it up is because they made me like do like a test experience for like 30 minutes to an hour of free labor or work in the interview, and then I never got a call back. I'm like, are you kidding? That was one of the longest interviews of my life, and they're just like, yeah, can you just do this and make the coffee? Let me see how you make it. And I'm like, there's no formal training. I guess, is this how you make it? Okay, can you go serve it to that customer? Probably one of my worst interview experience, if I do have to say that. Anyway, let's get back into it. I don't need a rant about previous job experiences. I have to focus on the now, the future, the medial collateral ligament, and the lateral collateral ligament of the elbows. Alright, so let's get into it. So your elbow we have right here. See, this is our elbow, this is our arm bone, the humerus, and then our forearm. Remember, we have two bones. On our forearm, we have two bones past the elbow. It's going to be our ulna, and we're going to have our radius. We could tell because we have the radial head right here, and we have the olecranon right here, which is going to be the C shape, which is going to give that, again, that concave convex movement that we've been so adamantly talking about. So let's see. So what happens, and this is the medial aspect as you see of the elbow. The medial collateral ligament is going to have three bands that we need to pay attention to. So we're going to have the anterior band, which is going to be in the front right here, the transverse band, which is more horizontal or going transversely, and we're also going to have the posterior part, which is, as you see, a little more deeper towards the back. All three of these bands are going to make up the medial collateral ligament. We also have the annular ligament, but that's to keep the radial head in place in the arm, and that's just not something we're talking about right now. MCL is something that you'll hear a lot, especially for the knee and about injuries with that, but we're on the upper extremity, so hold your horses until we get back down there, you know? So this anterior band right here is going to be the strongest and the stiffest of all the ligaments of the, or all the parts of the medial collateral ligament. It's going to be the primary stabilizer for valgus loads. So what does valgus mean? So what's going to happen is that if you have a force coming laterally or out from the side, this is going to be the band that's going to help resist that. So, is there an image to probably show it? If not, I could draw it out. Valgus load, MCL, elbow. I mean, I guess this kind of works a little bit. Let me see. This is a... No, my over 9,000 is still here. Look, listen. Alright, let's focus though. So you see how we have the medial collateral ligament right here? So valgus stress is going to be right here, and as valgus stress is going to push and try to, I guess, displace the elbow this way, this ligament right here, the anterior band, is going to help be the stabilizer to make sure that your arm doesn't go kapooey. Oh, you can't even see all that, I'm so sorry. It's to make sure that, again, valgus stress, valgus, again, starting with L, so this is our lateral outward force, which is going to be pushing our arm in this direction and making sure that, again, our elbows does not pop out in that direction. Ta-da! Anterior band is our hero. Alright, going back. It's going to provide stability through range of motion, and pretty much he also wanted us to know what fibers are taught. What do you say? Not slacking. That they're pulled tight. So taut is another word for tight. So superior fibers are going to be tight in extension, So superior above, and inferior are going to be taut in flexion. I don't know if there's like a really good easy way to know about that, so let's see. So if you were to extend your elbow outward, that you're going to do elbow extension, and the superior fibers are taut. Maybe if I pretend to apply a little bit of force, like I'm trying to bend my elbow outward, I can feel like a little bit of a stretch and a little bit of the fibers being taut, saying like, hey, don't go that way anymore. And let's see, if I bend my elbow, if I flex it, I guess I could feel a little bit of something near my elbow. I'm so sorry. Fibers are kind of stinky, but let's say superior for extension, inferior for flexion, and it's just something you kind of feel and could do the motion for. So that's going to all be for the anterior band of the medial collateral ligament. Again, that's going to be our primary stabilizer of valgus loads. Valgus again with an L, so our lateral loads. Let's focus on the posterior band because we'll talk about the transverse band. So the posterior part of the medial collateral ligament, or our MCL, is going to be a fan shape. So you see how it is a fan shape, like a triangle? Narrow here, wide out here. It's also going to help with valgus loads, but it's not going to be your primary stabilizer. And also that this in particular is going to be taught with elbow flexion 90 degrees or greater. So what does that mean? So can we get numbers out? Let's see. Elbow flexion, range of motion. Cool. Not here. So when you get to about 90 degrees of elbow flexion, so basically putting your arm out into like an L, straight out, that 90 degrees, that posterior band is going to be the tightest then. Bam. Normal elbow flexion, by the way, is about 150 degrees, which is why you saw that guy like zooming it. Whoosh. Alright. The transverse band, which we can see right here, off to the side more horizontal, it's poorly defined. It's just kind of there to be there, but it provides stability for valgus loads as well, but it's going to be very limited. It's doing something, but barely. So here's another thing. This is just from the PowerPoint directly. Just know again, anterior band, primary stabilizer. So now let's talk about the other side. We talked about our medial collateral ligament, or MCL. So let's talk about LCL, our lateral collateral ligament. So there's actually just two ligaments you need to know about. Here's the annular ligament here again, but we're not focusing on that. We're going to focus on the radial collateral ligament aspect of the LCL and the lateral or ulnar collateral ligament. So the radial collateral ligament, this man does not want us to know anything about. I guess just know that it's a component of LCL. While the lateral ulnar collateral ligament, that one, as the name suggests, is going to be connecting directly to the ulna, which we could see right here, ulna, and then again, here's the olecranon process. Again, that C-shape cupping the elbow, why we have flexion and extension. This is actually going to provide great stability to the to the varus loads compared to the RCL. So this is going to be our primary stabilizer when it comes to varus or medial loads to the arm. And just understand that this ligament's going to be tight with great elbow flexion. It doesn't really give a degree, unfortunately, but we can most likely assume 90 or higher. So let's talk about periarticular stability. So periarticular just means the area around or at the joint. No, Teo, no! Hi, nice joke. Welcome. We are just talking about ligaments. Boo. So the same thing over here. That's basically the information we stated above, but more summarized into this graph. So the MCL lateral fibers are going to help with the valgus, or it's going to increase. It's going to help provide stabilization with valgus. That's for the anterior fibers. The posterior is going to also help with valgus as well. Remember, the transverse is the one that provides very limited stability, as we were saying. Moving on to the LCL, remember we had the radial collateral ligament as a portion. That's going to help with varus. But it's really, again, the lateral ulnar collateral ligament that's going to help with the varus forces. And then annular ligament that we just been kind of casually saying, it's just good when we do distraction. Boom. Sorry, I heard you got ligaments. Yeah, me too, my dude. Sorry for your ligaments. It's so tragic. I know. Anatomy is so sad. Can I get an F in chat? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, also why the annular ligament is really important is because it's actually important for the pathology of nursemaid arm. So I think it's better if you see this rather than me explain it. Because if I say pulling of the arm, you're gonna be like, what? So we're gonna use this really not as graphic example, but the reason why ligaments are cool is because it kind of keeps your bones in place, you know? And what's gonna happen is that, you know, a child uvu is, you know, they're developing and they're soft and they're weak. they're so weak and they're growing. So you really don't want to pull on their arms. So you know when dads are like, let me see, or fatherly figures. Hold on. Don't save. You know when they do like, oh, hello, child of mine. I am a dad, right? And they're doing like those ring around the rosies with them. And it's just their child. The child has a really long arm. Hold on. Da. And they're like swinging their child like that. And they're going like, wee. Yeah, there's also a possibility of having the, what do you call it? Nursemaid's hand, because again they're being pulled into this direction and they're just not strong enough for that, and you could pull the ligament out. That's my face when someone pulls my arm apart. Yeah, I'm like, why are they even pulling in this direction? But you know, sometimes you have like parents who are like, okay, child of mine, let's go, and they like pull on the arm like that. Yeah, you're gonna dislocate your poor child's radial head. Cold the weak? No, don't do it. Don't do it. They're growing. They'll grow stronger. Huh? What the heck did I walk into? Ligaments. But yeah. But with that, let's actually move to something called the closed pack and loose pack positions. So I don't think I really discussed this in the last biomechanics stream, but closed pack is basically where everything's like super tight. There's the most congruency. Your joints, excuse me, will not move whatsoever. While loose pack is basically like, ooh, my arm is so free and loose and easy to move, which is why it's really important, like I was mentioning in the very beginning of stream, of those rolls and glides and how professionals can do certain motions to the arm to like help promote better motion by doing the proper roll and glide technique. You want to have them in that loose pack position so you have the most mobility and the least chances of what do you call it, injury. Heck yeah, Tipanya. Hi Garland, hi, welcome. But yeah, so we have the humeral ulnar and the humeral radial. So this is just all in reference to the humerus. And again, this is going to be your ulnar right here because it's going to have that T-shape connecting at the edge right there. And then we also have the radial joint right here and the radial head right here. So for the humeral ulnar joint, because again, this is your humerus and this is your ulnar joint, about having 70 to 90 degrees of flexion and 10 degrees supination is going to be your loose pack position. So, you know, your arm, we were just mentioning about putting your arm into that L position. That's going to be your about 90, and then anything less than an L. So not as flexed, a little bit looser than that 90 degrees with your arm more out, is that 70 to 90 range of flexion. And supination just means that your palm is up. That your palm is up about 10 degrees. And what that really means is that if you put your hands out and you put your hands up to like a thumbs up position, yeah, you don't have to close your fingers, but like your thumbs are up pointing to the sky. If you curve your palms facing up slightly, that's going to be about your 10 degrees of supination. Supination again is your palms up, and pronation is going to be your palms down. So loose pack again is going to be that kind of motion. Should I poorly draw it again? Hold on. Such a cute squeak, thank you. Wait, did you say radial head? No, I said radial. Radial. Gosh. gosh. Radial head. Alright. So basically what your arm is going to be at, because again I'm an anatomy pro at the moment, is you're here. This is a side profile as you see. And you have your arm, so your arm is not in like an L, or it could be, and then you have your palm facing up. Yeah. Oh no, Cubs, give me one hecky moment. Wait, one moment. Holy heck. Sorry. False alarm. I felt really sick for a moment, so I'm like, oh my gosh. So I just like sat and I'm like, okay, What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, body? And then it was nothing, so I'm like, ugh. Thanks, body. Anyway, back to loose pack position and all that. So what's gonna happen here? Let's see. So that's gonna be our loose pack position. Are you okay? Oh, I'm good. I just had like a short pain, so I'm like, oh, do I have to puke? Basically. So I'm just like, but no, we're good. Glad it didn't end up real bad. Yeah, that's what I was like. Why out of nowhere? All I drank was coffee and what did I eat today? Frosted Flakes. Why, buddy? Are you treating me bad? These are your favorites. Hi, Belsto. Hi. Welcome. Let me give you a shout out. Ba ba da ba. Alright, so that's our loose pack position for how do you say it? For the radio head. Sorry, this is for the owner, by the way. For the radio head, this one's actually really easy. So we're gonna actually have full supination. So just pretend that's full supination and full extension of the arm or the elbow. So your arm's gonna be like this. Bam! So easy, right? I move this out to the side so you can also see it. So these are all going to be the loose pack positions in ideal situations where you would want to work at when it comes to either the what do you call it? Humeral radio. Let me put that gap. Radial. No. Radial. Yep. Fixed. So fixed. Yeah. And then we can do this, and we could just copy and paste that, and then we'll just put it in red or something. And this is the humeral ulnar. Bam! So easy, right? And so what happens is that the most congruent state for the humeral ulnar is basically this position. That's actually like a really neat. Let me put that in the notes really quick. Oh, but also let me take out MS Paint really quick. So closed pack position with the most congruency is full extension with supination. So this is going to be opposite of the loose pack position of the humeral radial. Wink. And then this is about the opposite. There's some similarities. Oh, there. Yeah, the humeral ulnar and loose pack position. So yeah, hopefully that helps someone. Again, the study guide is available for all my classmates, which is why I kept saying like there's one other person on here, and I'm just so sorry for all like the memes and images I've been posting here. They're probably trying to read it, and I'm like, Anyway, so yeah. Yeah. I think we get the gist of both of these, so I think we can move on. But part of me is like, no, reiterate it. Alright, so for loose pack position again, with the least congruency, most mobile, least prone to injury, we're gonna have the humeral ulnar at this position. We're gonna have it about 70 to 90 degrees, so that it could be like that or like this. Here about the, let's see, can I write this in pencil? 70, 90. Yeah, yeah. That's readable. From 70 to 90, and then the 10 degrees of the supination. While again, the loose pack position for the radiohumeral is going to be full extension and full extension and supination. Yeah. And then it's going to be the opposite for the closed pack. While the humeral ulnar, the closed pack position for that is basically what we see right here at the humeral radial with the full extension and supination. While the humeral radial is going to be similar to the humeral ulnar loose pack position, which is going to be about or at that 90 degrees right here, and about 5 degrees of supination rather than the 10 that we were seeing. Bam! So easy. Alright. Okay, So actually, we were talking about SC joint and all the other upper extremity arthrokinematics. Let's talk about the movement that happens in the joints, okay? So this may seem a little bit overwhelming, but I promise it's not, okay? Peas? Peas? Do you hear this baby? What happened, baby? Hold on. What happened? You wanna come up? She's being dummy. Peas? I want a peace cam. I want to live my dream. Peace cam. But my I don't think my setup would allow for that. Maybe she sits. Maybe she sits at a certain angle, and I ask her, "Peace, please." Oh, will she do it? Oh my gosh, the mad lad! The mad lad! Oh, we're gonna get peace cam! No, peace baby. Oh, she might unplug my monitor though. Alright, we're getting peace cam. Oh, this is so exciting. Hold on. Is it video? Hold. Wait, baby, don't move. I don't remember how to do video capture device. Oh, wait. Let me get it set up really quick. Eh? No, you're gonna see my desk is a mess. But it's worth it for peace. But I can't find this paperclip. Hold on. Where is this paperclip that she's seen? No, but then you'll see my hands! There's a way to crop it, I'm sure. Hold on. Hold on. No, please! No, she moved! Baby, no! I'm sorry, I didn't expect it. But now I can find this random paperclip. Peace cam, I wish. I'm so sorry. Here, hold on actually. Will this show if I... Yeah? No. I'll try to get her back, Cubs. I believe. Maybe it'd be better like this. Now I feel like I have to do a quick BRB screen. Just to figure this out. Here, hold on. Oh yeah. No! Well, that was the second of peace cam. I'm sorry. That was her. she keekeeps jumping on, and she's like, oh, I want to stay here. And now she's really fascinated with a plastic bag. No, but all you'll see is just her like body. She'll like to lay and she'll look in the camera, or she'll like watch videos of me. She's so cute. These are just camera shy. She is. But honestly, so I got like a pack. Oh, no, peas. I had got a package. I don't know if you cubs are familiar with Taobao, but basically, I had some cosplay stuff for a friend who also wanted to order some stuff, and she's just ripping the wig bags, and I'm like, please, and this is my stuff, which is really hard because it's like both black wigs, so we're like, I don't know which one's which, but please don't let it be my friends. Please. Alright, no more plastic eating peas. Next time she shows up, we'll figure it out. I promise. Haven't ordered in Taobao in ages, right? Me either, because the shipping from China was just really expensive. But yeah, it just came time to it. But yeah, I'm so sorry she's camera shy. Next time I get her, and I'll have it like set up in the corner, and then you cubs don't have to judge my my dust too much. Anyway, let's get back into it, okay? So, concave convex roll for the elbow in general. So again, if it's convex, moving on concave, then we're going to be doing a roll and glide in the same direction. If it's convex, moving on concave, it's going to be the opposite direction. So what's going to happen here is that we have to understand that we need to consider two different things. We need to consider the humeral ulnar articulation and the humeral radial articulation. So what do you call it? So you see here in the ulnar right here, the ulnar is going to be concave surface because you see it's cavey in, it has that divot, while the humerus, or more specifically the trochlear of the humerus, is going to have a convex surface, or that ball rounded surface. So from there, that means when the arm moves, or the forearm moves into flexion or extension, it's going to be concave, this bone, moving on a convex surface, which means that the rolls and glides are going to move the same direction, which is why you see these arrows right here going up and up. The same thing is actually going to happen for the humeral radial as well. But, Kai, hi, welcome. Are you studying medicine? Oh no, unfortunately no, I'm just studying anatomy and kinesiology. But I'm in my 3rd semester, so that means I'm 1 year in, so yay! I just have to pass this semester. Welcome. I hope you slept well from last time. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So the humeral radial joint does the same thing. So the radius right here is actually going to be our concave surface, and it's moving on the capitulum, which is this rounded surface at the end of the anterior surface of the humerus. So because a concave surface is moving on a convex, the rolls and glides are also going to be in the same direction. Yay! So the elbow is actually a pretty easy joint because all the rolls and glides are going to be in the same direction no matter what joint. The issue right now is just the particular ligament. So for flexion, the anterior, it's going to do an anterior roll and glide. So anatomical position with your arms up, palms facing up. If you do elbow flexion, so like a little bicep curl, you're going to the anterior plane, or like the anterior side or the front side of your body, which is why it's an anterior roll and an anterior glide. Same thing with extension. If we were to, I was about to say kick back, if we were to bring our arm backwards, we're going towards our back, so it's going to be a posterior roll and a posterior glide. And again, the same thing is going to happen for the humeral radial joint. One moment. I realized my mic was really low. I was like, can you guys hear me? Anyway. So with that in mind, we just have to keep in mind what tissues are going to become tight with this. So for humeral ulnar flexion, we have to understand that even though we're doing an anterior roll and an anterior glide, we need to understand that with that motion going to the front, the posterior periarticular tissues are going to become taut. So this can refer to the inferior fibers of the anterior band of the MCL, which we talked about, as well as the posterior bands of the MCL. So our lower and our posterior are going to become tight. You're just kind of quiet. Yeah, I know, and I also speak relatively quiet too. So I'm just like probably mumbling. I'm so sorry. Anyway, for extension, doing the opposite, it's actually going to be the anterior periarticular tissues that are going to become taut. So the superior fibers of the anterior band of the MCL, which we were just talking about right up here. So again, when we go into flexion, the posterior periarticular tissue, so again, the posterior part of the MCL and transverse part of the MCL are going to become taut or tight. While when we do instead of flexion, we go into extension of the elbow, and then it's the anterior part of the MCL that's going to become tight. See? Anterior, posterior, the fan shape, and transverse, which is going to be the one more horizontal. So scrolling back down, the same thing is actually going to happen for, again, the humeral radial, and I can't emphasize that enough. But with the humeral radial, we have to consider the LCL a little bit more and understand that the LCL is going to be involved for the humeral radial movement, and that's going to become taut in flexion. So, da-da! As long as you know the differences, you're all good to go. This one might confuse a lot of people because it says ulnar and this is ulnar, so you would think that this would be here, but it isn't. It's just all anatomy and making sure you know your differences. Because remember, the lateral ulnar collateral ligament or lateral collateral ligament. That's so confusing. How can you have the LCL of the LCL? No, I'm just kidding. But oh, because this is a complex. Oh, I get it. But it's still dummy. I'll call it ulnar collateral ligament. That's fine. That's going to be, again, right here on the ulnar, hence the name ulna. But again, it's going to be in reference... Did I write these wrong? No. I got confused for a moment. I was like, oh no, but the ligament's on the ulna. So what does it have to do with the radius? Oh no. Huh? There's a learning help for which is valgus and which is varus? It would have been I'm so sorry. Look, I just remember valgus has an L in it and L means lateral. So bam, so easy, right? And varus is not lateral, it's medial. Wow, so easy, am I right? Valgus forces, lateral forces, varus forces, medial forces. Yay, smart. Nope, I didn't know you were going to orthopedics. Hello? My backup career, which it probably has no relation, it would have been like orthopedic physician assistant. And you know, it was actually so crazy because there's someone who I follow who's a cosplayer, and she's like, oh, I'm going for this degree, and I'm like, that's my degree. But she's like, actually, it's not my passion anymore. I'm going for orthopedic physician assistant. I'm like, how does it feel to be my dream? But no, it's actually crazy because my degree requires a doctorate, while physician assistance is just a master. So I should have, and they have a little bit more of a pay. I should have just a physician assistant. But no, I actually really like my career a little bit more. I like what I've seen, and I liked what I've done in shadowing minus like the cash mill clinic. So yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, elbow arthrokinematics. So the rolling glide is going to be the same. Just know for humeral radial, it's going to have the ulnar collateral ligament involved with this. Okay. Thank you for the pat. Cries, sobs. So actually, let's talk about more arthrokinematics and what's going to happen in the joint, and let's talk about pronation. So we talked about pronation already being the instead of the palm is going to be up, the palm is going to be down. So you see how you don't see the palm of this person's hand right here? When you do that, this is actually going to be absolutely insane, but your bone moves. And I mean, okay, it's like, oh, but weren't we talking about bones moving all this time? But look, it twists. And now let's compare this to supination, where it's right here. I just think that's crazy. So let's read off the slide because I personally have not put any notes into it. So actually, hold on. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me also do this really quick. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. So, can I copy and paste this really quick? Supination, the motion you do when spooning soup. Honestly, I love my soup. I love my supination. So I'm just gonna rewrite this, and I know that sounds dumb, but that's sometimes how I remember. I like rewriting notes. I personally like rewriting rather than retyping, but this kind of helps me put the information together, and it's like, oh, I can control F it too. But it's also just the idea of like, oh, what do they mean by this? So when we're talking about pronation, we're talking about the radial ulnar joint, and what's going to happen here is that we're going to have our concave surface on our convex surface. So let's talk about this a little bit more. So the concave surface is actually going to be our radius, and remember, we're referring to the distal. So distal meaning the furthest end right here. So this is going to be saying that this, hold on, let me write it out. Hold on. So the concave is going to be the radius, and the convex is going to be the ulnar surface. So let's look at it here. Are they referring to the articulation here? Maybe this is something we'll have to double check. Either way, we know that the concave surface is moving, so that means that the rolls and glides are going to be the same direction. I might just need a better image of the distal radial ulnar joint, because maybe it's just how they're articulating literally right here. Huh? Terupancake, you seem to know this stuff pretty well. So are you repeating right now to internalize it? Or did you make this whole presentation for stream? I'm just curious because I do study streams sometimes, and I want to know how different people approach it as content stream. Study buddy? So I made this, so you're right, kind of. Okay, let's break it down. So some of this is reviewed just because I just knew it, because how the class is divided into weeks, and the concave convex rule is just a fundamental thing that kind of just repeats, and you just need to know what is the shape of the joint, what is convex and what is concave, you know, and kind of repeating it. So it's pretty like repetition, but I like speaking it because I feel like if I'm able to speak it and say it more like in a way that I can articulate it and teach it to someone who may not be as familiar with biomechanics, I feel like I have a better grasp in the subject, you know? And with that makes me more confident in teaching maybe some of my other classmates, or understanding what some of my other classmates may be talking about. How do you say it more specifically though? The reason why I made the presentation in this format is because this is how I just do my study guides in general. I'm very I love looking at really pretty things, and I like making my study guides pretty. Now, am I gonna focus all my time into it? Oh, no. But as long as I can organize my information into, hold on, let's do this just to say it. If I could organize my information into this and be like, hey, Tippa, do you know this? Hey, Tippa, do you know this? Oh, what other notable muscles were they talking about? Let me just, you know, having a bookmark and being able to easily click and go to and travel is just like really helpful for me. Which brings me to, I need to add the newer one, but I'm so lazy. We'll just go back down. Whee! But yeah, I don't know. I just like looking at visually appealing things, and I'm just a visual learner as well. So seeing it, making the guide myself, and rewriting my own notes to explain stuff, it's just really nice, you know? Let me see. Let me bring that back so you can actually read it, Cubs. So yeah, that's how I approach it, but it is very time consuming, honestly. I'm only doing this because I was given a study guide, and this is what you're seeing here. So you see this, all these like images I have here? This is a study guide that my professor gave me, which was how do you say it? Like a study guide review PowerPoint for our upcoming exam on either Monday or Tuesday. And I was just like, oh, okay, I'll do this, but I'll write notes my own way. Or, oh, look, I'm not understanding what they mean by this distal radial ulnar joint. I want to see in a different image, because this image is really cool, but it's not necessarily helping me. So I like having the ability of inserting my own images, and like, again, being able to explain and talk about it right now. This is actually my first time going through the whole study guide, like at once, because before I was just working on it. I was just like, oh yeah, I'll write about this, I'll write about that, but this is my actual time for reviewing it, so it actually just also helps me learn and be like, oh, I remember when I had to fix that during stream, or oh, I remember trying to explain this to the Cubs like this, you know? It's just really nice. Is my arm bone red? Marshall says, is my arm bone red like this too? No. I've seen some surgeries, and your bone is, well, you know, bone color. Wait, do the arm bones really twist like that? Yeah, isn't that crazy? When you do pronation, supination, the bones twist, which is absolutely insane. Let's see if we can actually grab an image, and I just want to, let me copy and paste this so I don't have to retype it. Let's see if we could get a better image about concave, convex for this one. But yeah, it's all practice and making sure you have the time for it, and honestly, sometimes I really just don't have the time, you know? And that's what sucks, which is why sometimes I want to see if I can get a good balance with like studying and streaming sometimes too, in addition to work and then my also personal life. So it's just making sure it's like, oh yeah. Oh, I think I got an image for us. Kind of. This one I kind of have to crop a little bit. So let's go back into it. And also I want to see if I can find us a GIF. So we'll put this here. We'll crop it. Oh, we don't have to resize it. Let's crop it. And we can put it into our little thing that we're writing. So we'll put that here. We'll put this here. Oh, sometimes formatting on Google kind of stinks. So we have a concave. So that's going to be the one left on image. And then our owner, because we see that there's a styloid process. Right on image, see styloid process. The styloid process, by the way, is going to be that little bump we see right there. Now let's see if we can actually get the how do you say it? GIF of it to see if we can see it in motion. Working when processing information is how you solidify knowledge. So you're doing everything extremely right? Yeah? Yeah! I'm glad. Honestly, repetition for me is like super helpful, but I also need to understand, oh my god, what am I doing? Can my skull twist? You can do rotation. Does that help? I'm looking at a GIF right now. Hold on. We'll talk about cervical stuff, by the way, in a little bit. I guess this can count as a GIF, right? And I guess we can also add this. Oh, no, wait, don't do that. We can also add this one in here too. One moment. Humans are freaking weird, sorry. Yes, between the atlas and axis. Yes, we'll talk about that. Where the heck is it? Teehee, look, extension. Look, rotation. We could just spin. And we could talk about the O8 joint, which is your occipital-atlantal joint, the AA joint, and then the spine, yay! Bro, how did I forget the abbreviation for AA? AA, atlantal... AA! Atlantal... No! Atlantal axial joint, yes. Thank hecking goodness. I was gonna start crying. Alright, let's talk about movement of the body, I guess. So we're gonna insert image. Upload from the computer. Hey, I thought you were a GIF! Turn it to a GIF! Oh, okay, we have this guy. This guy is gonna save us. So yes, this is your bone twisting when you do pronation, supination. Pronation, supination. Alright, where the heck can we put this? Maybe this can go... Maybe this doesn't have to be a thing. Maybe we could just do this. Oh, wrong one. Format this. Da 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 da. And then we could put this onto the right. But then that cuts off, so then we could just break this page. Kind of. we'll put this in the center so we make it all pretty. But we have to understand basically that the rolls and glides are going to be in the same direction. Okay, what else do we have to write about this? Oh heck, there's so much we have to write. Oh goodness, I'm just going to write it up here and then we'll go from that, okay? But that's not the skull twisting, it's the neck? Yes, the only motion your skull should do is your mandible? Yeah. No. You ever heard of TMJ? You ever heard of TMJ pain? Temporomandibular pain. Anyway. And your hyaloid? Oh, your hyaloid is actually really interesting, Cubs. So you can actually move that. You can kind of move that freely. You can kind of like grab your neck. Don't grab your neck. You have to grab a certain part of your neck. Your hyaloid is right here. If you feel a bony, I don't think you would call it a bony prominence, but there's something bony in your neck right underneath your jaw, and you can kind of grab it and you can kind of shake it a little bit about. You can grab it like left and right. But yeah. But don't grab your neck. Don't like choke yourself like with your hands around your neck because you're gonna compress and you're gonna die. Not like that. Not dramatically. I don't think you guys are gonna like accidentally unalive yourselves, but just know there's a bone there. Where's the rest of it? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Let go of your neck. Let go of your neck. I don't know why. What do you mean? Where's the rest of it? Like your bone, like the rest of your spine and bones? I can grab it. I can grab another photo, I guess. But I don't think there's much to it. Here, we can look at this picture if you want from the side. So this is your hyaloid bone where you have so many muscles connecting. But it's really nice because the names are already like particular. So like myeloid hyaloid is gonna be from the hyaloid bone to the my like I don't remember my muscles. Okay, but sternal hyaloid is from your sternum to your hyaloid. And then you have omohyaloid, which is from your shoulder, because for whatever reason, shoulder can also be known as omo. And yeah. I got horns on your neck? Pog, honestly. Huh? No, where's the rest of the hyaloid? Why don't we have all the other bits? It's because it's just your larynx? What? Find me a picture. Yeah, it's just your hyaloid bone on top of your larynx, my dude. Look, here's a picture without muscles. See? Why does this graphic have that one random word in German? I was also confused. I'm like, huh? Look, okay. See? Here, then your hyaloid bone. Then you have the body, you have some horns. We have the epiglottis. Very fun. It was not fun on a cadaver. Here's the mandible. That's the only bone that should be moving in your skull, preferably. That's us talking and our chin going we'll talk about more bones later. We could talk about the atlas, which is your C1 cervical, which is here. Your C2, which is going to be below it. C7 is really prominent. That's that bump in the back of your neck. Yeah, links should be allowed. Try it out, let me know. Let me insert this page break there really quick. Okay. Hold on. Ba-bam. Oh, you mean the rest of the... What? This is the same bone! This is the same bone! Look, your larynx, hyaloid bone, epiglottis somewhere here, and then these are just... It's the same one, it's all one bone. What's the conversation? You mean like the horns? I'm just asking for a friend now. But no, that's all you have. But you'll have all these like wacky hyaloid bones. I mean muscles. Whether it's hyaloid something or styloid hyaloid or omohyaloid or all that other stuff, you know? And good thing they stopped at C3. If I had C4 in my spine, I'd be a lot more careful about cracking it. Wait, are you referring to like the drink C4 or the energy drink? You do have a C4 though, my dude. You have 7 cervical spine vertebrae. Your hold spine chat. So your how do you call it? I guess do we use the colorful one? No, let's just, oh my goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. Oh, I like this one, but is it gonna be blurry? Oh, it's gonna be tiny. Oh my goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. Alright, let's just use this one and we'll take it. So here's your spine on like a view from the side. So you see side, nose, profile, da 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 da. You have 7 cervical vertebrae. You have 12 thoracic, so like your back ribs basically. I guess that's the area. Thoracic vertebrae. You have like your lower back or your actual back, lumbar vertebrae. Then you have your sacrum and you also have your coccyx. So your coccyx is going to be referred to as your tailbone, and your sacrum is like there's actually S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, but they're all kind of fused together, so we don't really separate it. But I think the divots in your back, because some people, how do you say it? Divots in the back sacrum is about, I think, like S2? Back dimples. Oh no, I don't want to get in trouble for showing. Okay, this is okay, image. Man, I'm so sorry to whoever's on my document. Like, if you have these back dimples, I believe that's about approximately S2. So if you're ever doing palpation or trying to feel for that, I don't think everyone has back dimples though, but just letting you know you have dimples, maybe. Teehee. Anyway. Joking about the C4, the plastic explosive, by the way. Oh! I'm here thinking about the Starburst C4 energy drinks here. Also, hey, coccyx? Yeah, it's a really weird word. Alright, oh, goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. Let's go back into pronation Arctic kinematics though, because I'm gonna be here for a hot minute. It's already almost 2 o'clock. So scary. Time's so scary. Anyway, so we talked about concave radius and convex ulna, and why that's happening is because that's how bones were made, unfortunately. So again, on the right is going to be the ulna, which we could see with the styloid process that comes out here, and then we have the radius right here. Let's type up all the information and keep talking about this gift that's happening right now. But just letting you know as well, this is your ulna because we can see the olecranon process, and then we can see actually that little tiny bit that sticks out, that's going to be the ulnar styloid process. And the one that's moving right here, this bone, is going to be your radius. Look at that man go. That thing that's holding that is the ulnar ligament, which is the thing we've been emphasizing about. So let's retype all this. So we know that the roll and glide are in the same direction, and this is actually going to be referred to as a palmar roll and glide. So let's talk about that. Man. So, oops. Dorsal capsular ligament becomes taut, and palmar capsular ligament goes slack. Oops. We can also talk about the proximal radial ulnar joint, which is going to be primarily a spin motion, which is going to be a median spin, which is a new concept to me. But what really means is that there's no roll and glide. So let's copy and paste this in, okay? Oh my goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. So we could talk about these. So we have the distal, which we just talked about, and we have the proximal. Can we get a better image of the proximal though? I can understand why it spins because there shouldn't be any concave convex rule onto it. Let's see. Finding images is always such like the wackiest part of it. Oh, I found a decent one though. Huh? Your notes are so thorough though. I feel like you'll totally rock whatever you need this for. Yes, thank you. You know what's the worst part? I have other classes that I need to focus for, but biomechanics is the one I have the highest grade. So I have a passion. I'm just like, oh yes, biomechanics. So it's very, very exciting. Oh no, let me do this, do that, minimize that. So that can be in the center as well. And we already put this in the center, but can it go more to the right? No, I like this more in the center. Alright, so we know because it's concave moving on convex, we know that this is going to be moving in the same direction. And we see here in the distal segment right here, it is the concave radius. Concave because it's dipping right here, and we can see kind of here on the convex ulnar, on the distal radial ulnar joint. So from that, what's going to happen is that when we do pronation supination, the direction is no longer superior, inferior, posterior, anterior. This is actually going to be a palmar rolling glide. What does palmar mean? It's the palm of your hand, so the front of your hand, where your palm is going to be the direction it's going. So you see from supination and then pronation. So that's going into a palmar direction that we see there. So that's why the rolling glide is going to be a palmar rolling glide. So the dorsal capsules are going to become tight. Yeah, taut/tight when we do this, and the palmar capsule ligaments are going to go slack when we do this as well. Why? I actually don't know, so sorry, I'm just reading off the notes. Anyway, so let's move on to the proximal radial ulnar joint. So as you see here, there's really no roller glide, so this is not going to follow the concave convex rule because there's not really, so there's, how to say it, this proximal radial bone, it is concave, but there's no convex surface right here on the ulnar joint. So this is going to be this moving on like a flat surface, and a flat surface, as we know, is not concave or convex. So boo. So what's going to happen is that this is why there's going to be a spin motion, and we can see the spin motion occurring into this GIF right up here. So ta-da! Why did it go on slack? Right, that's right, notes. Because the distance between the bone parts that they connect to become shorter. Thank you. Slack? And taut because because the distance between the bones become longer. Oh, sorry, plurals. But where is the dorsal capsular ligament? Hold. Distal radial ulnar joint, dorsal capsular ligament. Asking for a friend. Oh no. He doesn't really go this in depth with the ligaments of the wrist, and plus the wrist is like honestly a beast and a half. You're telling me that I have to memorize all of this? You can heck off. You can hack off. No, it's really not that bad, but it's still so intimidating. I just don't like the hand as much, which really sucks because okay, I have an honest confession with you cubs. I want to work with this is not necessarily my targeted population. I like orthopedics and I like general orthopedics a lot, but I thought how cool it'd be to work with like esports teams. But the issue with esports is that obviously they use their hands a lot, and most of them are prone to like carpal tunnel or some weird thing with their thumb because, you know, they're too hard in gaming. And I'm like, I need to learn the hand for all of this, but the hand is just so intimidating. Again, I'm only in my first year and I only got like the basic, like, ooh, here's some bones and here's the TFCC on the side. The TFCC complex of all the ligaments on the side of the hand. Like, these are all like babies, so hopefully in my second year I'll be better. And then in my third year I'll start applying all it. In the fourth year I'm already in my clinical rotation, so I should be a pro at it. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with humans. Damn, you're so lucky. What do you have to deal with then? You're knowledgeable. You're so knowledgeable in the anatomy. What do you mean you don't have to deal with human anatomy and humans in general? Boo! Anyway, yeah, so if you see me in 3 to 4 years working with the esports team, go whatever esports team I'm on. Yay! Other animals exist? Yeah. Yay. Okay, so we talked about that. So now we're gonna talk about supination. So what we're gonna do politely is that we're going to copy and paste this, and we're gonna basically do the same thing, okay? But I think really the big thing that he wants us to know is that, hey, what does a lateral spin and what does a medial spin? So we see again that in the proximal radial ulnar joint, we're going to do a medial spin. And we can see this while we're doing this motion. So it's going in while it does the pronation. So it's going to be a medial spin. Yeah. Tepa's going into the role of in-game support main to IRL support main. I'm gonna, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, so, oh my goodness, sorry, I got something in my eye. So I don't think they, I just want to keep that quote forever in my heart and in my head. It's really sad because I think when I graduate, I don't think there's like a cap and gown ceremony. I think for doctor programs, you have to do like a white coat ceremony. But if I was able to do like a cap and gown, I would decorate. I would put that quote onto my head. So thank you. I started learning the carpal stuff on a horse because they have one metacarpal. What? What? I have to see this. Hold on. Horse metacarpal. Oh my goodness, putting my mic up was a scam. Holy heck. I'm being open to a new world. Look at this! Look at it! Metacarpals are bones that connect the wrist to the finger? No, yeah, but like, look! That's so crazy! What? I've never thought about animals, as you see. But I'm like, oh yeah, bear, yeah. Look, they all have radius and ulnas. Oh my gosh, radius and ulnas. That's so crazy. My bro's getting representation. Look at my bear, dogs, and horses. Thank you for the hydrate, by the way. Let me politely. I'm so dehydrated. Hold on. Oh my goodness gracious! Thank you. That's so crazy. Holy heck. No bearcats in this image? It's okay. I will associate myself closely with bears. It's so sad. Alright, so let's talk about the same thing but for supination. Dun dun dun. Alright, so concave. Okay, so it looks like everything is the same, but what happens is that we're going to be going in a dorsal direction. So what does that mean? Okay, so it's not palmar. So when we do supination, which is getting our bowl of soup, we're bringing the hand. Again, if the GIF is a little too fast or it's kind of like, I don't really understand, remember, anatomical position is, or no, sorry, hold on, let's not go anatomical position. Let's go, excuse me. Let's go neutral on the wrist. So basically, if you have your hands up with your thumbs pointing out to the sky or to your ceiling, what's gonna happen is that if you bring your palms up, that's supination, right? But as you supinate, you're gonna be doing a... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, maybe we do have to bring anatomical position. No way. No! Yes! No! No, we can still use the example with our thumbs up to the ceiling. So what happens is that as you supinate, yes, the palms are going forward, but the dorsum, or the dorsal side of your back, or the back side of your hand, is going towards the back of your body, which is why that's going to be a dorsal roll and a dorsal glide. Unnecessary info? I should correct myself before someone comes in and says... So horses technically have 3 metacarpals per hand, but Griffel beans are just vestige? I'm so sorry, I definitely did not say that word correct. Vestiges? Vestige. Don't worry, I when I was growing up, I was never a horse girl. I don't think I was any kind of girl. I think I was just a bearcat. But have you seen the meme? Let me see if I could actually grab it. Like, it's like, oh, what kind of girl were you? I'm so sorry, this might not be applicable to all my cubs. Like, were you a wolf girl, a horse girl, or like, I think like a dolphin girl? I think that was a thing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those were the 3. I dated way too many horse girls. I don't think I could date a horse girl. I'm so sorry. Not for anything. I just don't think we'll have the same values. I was in fact none of these girls. Damn. I don't know. I was a panda girl. Does that help? Wolf, horse, and dolphin seem correct. Yeah, I think so. I think we covered all our like 3 fixations when we were younger. I dated way too many horse girls, and then I married and divorced a horse girl. No, I learned my lesson finally. No. I feel like, what's it called? I feel like this is a zodiac. Like, look, I dated a Scorpio once, and never again. Oh my goodness. Huh? Kai says horse girls are fine unless they grow up into horsewomen. The only kind of woman I want is those cute anime horse girls from that one game. Mobile game. Does being a brony count as being a horse girl? You know, honestly, maybe. Bruh, I just want... Forgive me, cubs. Forgive me for anyone who's watched or who's on my document. Now there's 2 people. These are the type of horse girls that I want, okay? Let me take that out before they see it. You know what? Because listen, I'm not gonna settle for any less. But you know who I will kind of settle for? This guy. What about my horse prince? I hope this is from that. I hope this is it. There he is. There he is. Oh my goodness. Horse girl jump scare? I'm so sorry. You know I don't mean that. It's not supposed to be scary. Okay. But let's see this. Huh? Are you working on this document with others? Or are they just leeching off your superior note-taking skills? So... wow. So, it's like me and another classmate that normally, oh, there's another classmate, but she doesn't really share notes, but I love her notes, so it's kind of really sad. So I'll dox their, well, no, I don't dox their names. So there's really, out of the 25 people in our cohort, there's only 3 people who do study guides. It's gonna be me and 2 other classmates, but it's normally me and another classmate who I'm good buddies with. Like, we're in the same little friend group. That man, he has all my appreciation and support. But all 3 of us make study guides. What happens is that I took it's whoever takes the initiative. I took the initiative. Like, we don't like talk in a group when we probably should. Like, all 3 of us, like, oh, who wants to do this study guide? But I just took the initiative to do biomechanics because that's what I was just fixated on the weekend I was on campus. I'm like, oh, he already has these notes. Well, let me screenshot all this and I'll start formatting the notes and we can go from there. I also did the last biomechanics final exam, the first exam. So I guess maybe this is just a habit now, you know? But I'm sure they can do it. I'm sure everyone would be okay without the study guides, but this is just also for me to like help reinforce it and help like learn about it, you know? Yeah. Friend group couldn't be me. No, same. This is why I'm really grateful for getting back into school and also VTubing, because I think I had like one friend. I think I had like one friend. I'm like, you're the only person I'm hanging out with. I'm so sorry. You're all I know. And now with VTubing, it's like, oh my gosh, I know so many people now. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I was a lonely bearcat. Mama Bearcat didn't want me out and about because I was gonna get in trouble or kidnapped or something. So making friends online is always like really, really nice. And now with school, I mean, it kind of sucks because I'm in a program where not everyone lives in the same area, but at least we have a Discord now, so they could see me study streams, I guess. We all have a Discord where we could talk and we hung out. Oh! I don't think I told you guys, but 2 weeks ago, one of my classmates did like a little gathering, and it was just so funny because they're like, yeah, there's like 25 of us, let's go bar hopping. And it's like, what? Sir, I've never been bar hopping in my life. Especially in this area? Question mark. But we went downtown and basically we were just like walking around, and it was just really funny because I don't really drink. But all my other classmates did, and it was just really funny to see their reaction. We had one classmate with like their shirt torn for whatever reason. One guy who got lost but was found, thank God. We have people who are like, wait, this person really likes this person, but they're dating this other person, but they're looking like they're putting on moves. It's because, you know, they don't have to, they're inhibited right now by alcohol. Wait, we have to save them from a disaster. And then I think like one of the other highlights was there's this girl who had an expired license, and they're like, yeah, this is not a legitimate ID, and so she ended up renewing it online, showing the receipt to like the how do you call it, the bouncers. And it was like, oh, okay, you're good. And that was like my weekend 2 weekends ago. I rather do something nice, sir. But I had fun being like a babysitter. But oh my gosh, drunk people are so like hard to navigate and manage. I'm like, guys, can you stop standing in the middle of the road? The road is so tiny. Please move. Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah. That fun socialization that I don't get to do, that I'm grateful that I can't do at school now, I guess. It was a fun experience though. Oh, but Kai, do you prefer Tip or Tippa? Either one, honestly. I don't mind Tip. I don't mind Tippa. I don't mind Tipanya. I don't mind Anya. I don't mind anything. As long as it's like a nice name, I will respond to it. In this area, no one messes with a 25 group. I just think it's not rude. I maybe because I worked in food, I just think going into big groups into situations like that are not like the nicest, you know? Did anyone lose their pants? No. Only the ripped shirt guy. Oh, but before we were drinking, I guess they were pre-gaming, and I got to play this game called Coop. Have you guys heard of it? It's kind of like werewolf, but not really. Basically, you have to like, do you explain? Oh, I'm so sorry. How do you explain this game, Coop? I'm not. Hold on. Hi, Sonic, by the way. Hi, welcome, welcome. Coop game. You're the head of a family in an Italian city-state, a city run by a weakened corporate court. You need to manipulate, bluff, and bribe your way into power. Your object is to destroy the influences of all the other families, forcing them into exile. Only one family will survive. And Coop, you want to be the last player with influence in the game, with influence being represented by face-down character cards that you're playing in the area. Each player starts the game with 2 coins and 2 influences, which are going to be 2 face-down character cards that have all these different abilities. So like you could be a duke, an assassin, a contesta, a captain, an ambassador, and they have all these different skills, and basically you just want to kill off everyone else. The really cool thing about the 2 face-down cards is that even though you may be a duke, you could say, like a duke and an assassin, you could just lie and say, actually I'm a captain and I'm going to use the captain's abilities to do this. And until someone calls you out, they will never know. And if they call you out wrong, then they die immediately. So that's actually like, it's a really fun game. I think it'd be fun if there's maybe like an online version of it. Coop game online? There is a Coop game online, but it's called Chicken Coop. Wait, is this will this be like the right game? Why is it just says welcome to the Coop? You can't read it. Oh no! Let me see if this is a legitimate game. Hold on. Create a game. You can drag to rearrange the players in a specific turn order? Huh? I don't know if this is Coop Coop. Is it Coop Coop? Should I? Yeah, no, this is actually Coop Coop. Cubs, you wanna play a game of Coop? Do they even have Coop here? They have couple and trap. Oh my gosh, why does it have to be called Coop? Coop. I keep getting Counter-Strike. Coop. No, I don't think I'm gonna get it. Huh? Tips, there is something like that somewhere? Oh, heck. Zach says bringing me back to my frat days? I always wanted to try to like party hardy, but it's just not in my nature. Every time I like drink alcohol, I'm just like, yeah, I'm actually tired, guys. I'm actually going to bed. Alright. Cubs, you want to play Coop? I just want to see how it runs. Or maybe I could just join someone's game. Oh no, you have to actually create it. Oh man. Hold on. Create a game. Tipanya. I just want to try. I don't know. This is probably not like the right time. I should probably go back to studying. But I want to try one. Just one. Or I just want to even see with one other person. That's all. I think it's a game you could actually play like with some like just one other person. Or at least you need like a minimum of 3, I think. Huh? Tips no matter if someone says something, Monka? Wait, what? Marshall, what? 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 So Alex says I had a friend like that who was described as the worst person to party with. Anytime he got drunk or high, he would just pass out. I had a friend, not a friend any longer, and I wasn't there at the time, but apparently she had drunk so much she got aggressive and was just fighting people. And I'm like, that's probably the worst drunk that you can get. Honestly. So I don't know. I don't pass out, but I'm like, guys, I'm just sleepy and I'm just gonna chill out right over here. I think the only time I got like okay and I'm like, oh, the influence is on me, is literally at like a con because Athos was visiting and Rip was visiting and New was visiting, and you know, we had all these visitors, so we're like, oh, let's party, which really just meant drinking. And there's Sarek was there, and Sarek is so funny. Sarek just had this like bottle of Arizona iced tea, like a gallon, and he just mixed it with vodka, and he just kept giving us. It was really good. I was just like, huh? But that was very fun. Yeah, fighting drunks or crying drunks are awful. Honestly, yeah. Zach says I lost my pants and woke up in way too many random places. I think that's horrifying. I think that's horrifying. I would not recommend. Alright, Maisho, me and you, we start this game of Coop. Oh no, I don't understand. Oh no, I forgot you needed the cheat sheet. The cheat sheet, but wait, what am I again? So a contestant captain. You could block assassinations, and you could steal. You could also block stealing. Holy heck. I'm just gonna steal. But the whole goal is that you're supposed to lie and be like, oh, I'm gonna assassinate you or something like that. But this game is very baby. Oh, I actually have to press Marshall? I'm sorry, Marshall. Huh? Whenever we go out drinking, I'll take the opportunity to try cool fruity cocktails? I want to try it. Is trying to block a steal? I challenge you. You can't block me. This man blocks me. Alright, we'll get rid of Contesta. So now I only have one influencer role, so this guy can, like, kill me, basically. And I think another thing is that you have to collect coins or something like that. I think if you get 7, then you can kill off one of their influences. I'm just gonna keep challenging you, Marshall. And this is a speedrun to death, then that's perfectly fine. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you. Alright, I go back to studying. We'll do this later, because I do think the game is fun, but I also have to remember what it was, because it was also my first time playing it. So thank you, Marshall. Huh? Blocked on Twitter? Wait, so like what? Careful though, more than 3 cocktails can be a headache or the moment. I was just pushing the color that matches my color. You were doing your job and that's what matters. Wow. But yeah, no, you have to be super careful. I think I talked about this way before, but there was a convention that had like a swing club or a dance or whatever, and not swing as in like, ooh, your romantic partners. Like no, like the actual dancing swing, right? And they had mocktails, and again, my favorite mocktail that I would love to try and have like right now in my hand is like a Sprite, orange juice, cranberry combination. I love fruity stuff. I could go for something fruity now. I want a nice fun drink. I think that's like the little like the things I love about life. I just want like a little fruity drink, you know? A little fun drink. Not just water. But yeah. Alright, let's get back into studying. I'm craving, you know what I have as my fruity drink sometimes, which is not probably good for you, but I'll do it anyway? The Lipton iced tea powders. I love those things. I love just eating like the sugar, just the powder itself. Not an excess, like, you know, you're already making a drink, you're like, ooh, some excess powder. That's my fun fruity drink.
Waiting for this.
No hacking way. Cause you know what to do. Ham smash raiders, the hecking heck. Yummy, hi, welcome raiders. Oh no, my stream dies. welcome. My name is Tipanya. I'm a bearcat Vtuber. I do the gal, and it's very nice to meet you. Welcome. I eat the powder? Yes. Yummy, are you familiar with the Lipton iced tea? Or like the iced tea that you can make into like... Yeah, my brain farted. like you know, like when you want to make iced tea and they have the powdered iced tea and you put it into the water and you spin it around. I think those are just so tasty that sometimes I might just eat the powder. Just like one. Just a tiny little bit, okay? It was my honest confession because we were talking about fun drinks and I was just like, yeah, you know, sometimes you just don't want water. Sometimes you want a nice mocktail of orange juice, cranberry, and Sprite. The weirdest combination, but it's just so tasty. But hi raiders again. Yummy, how was your stream? What were you up to? How's life? Yummy, I just, now that we're voice to voice, I just want to let you know, all your recent Twitter stuff, I agree. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution to Twitter. Sorry that this is even a thing happening, and I'm sorry. I did also read the thread on your Twitter. And I'm sorry for the people. But you're absolutely in the right. Handshakes you really hard. Masabay, hi, welcome. Nana, hi, welcome. MXSK, Mask, hi, welcome. Yeah, no worries. So right now, we're actually just doing like a study stream. I'm studying some biomechanics and we're like, whoa, bones rotate? That's absolutely crazy. So I'm pretty much just going over my study guide. Even though we're about 3 hours in the stream, I'm only on page 14 out of 42. So I've been having some very fun discussions. So yay! Yeah. Zach says it's fun, but I'm also extremely extroverted and I used to party hard. I can't do it anymore, too old. No, you're never too hard to party hard. Let's go. Party now. Study party. Let's go. Yami says a lot of those people aren't well, so I don't let it get to me. You shouldn't. Honestly, your words inspired me yesterday when I was playing Overwatch, and some guy was just being really toxic, so I had to report him. And I'm like, I got your words. This man is mentally unwell. Please ban him from the game to give him a break from the game. He needs to stop playing this game. This man was too overly toxic for quick play. But no, you're doing the right thing. I'm proud. And thank you, Yami. I will study? Yeah, I will study hard. I promise. I should probably get back into it, huh? Anyway, so everyone who's new here, welcome again. Like I said, my name is Tipanya. Right now, we're studying some biomechanics. And basically, biomechanics is basically bio, meaning life, and mechanics is mechanical movement. So kind of putting that all together, biomechanics, how we move in our skeletons and how spooky we are in the inside. We said that VCI died. No, because some people need to hear it. I'm like, I don't think anyone's ever told you this before, but you don't need to do this. Are you okay? Are you well? I don't think you're mentally well. It's okay to have a break from time to time, you know? Nami says, we should call out people so they understand there's help to get. Exactly! Exactly! But sometimes I'm just like, oh god. Maybe you are a lost cause. But no, we should do our part. Teehee. Anyway, baby up from nap? Oh no, time to lurk? Yeah, no problem. Have fun, take care. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you. Alright, so let's get back to studying, I guess. How am I only on page 14? Oh no. Alright, cubs, we're gonna be here for, I'm gonna speedrun this. Let's do this. Speedrun study time, okay? Okay. But before I go into speedrunning, Yami again, thank you so much for the raid. Feel free to hang out, lurk. Feel free to learn a few new things about Bone Goes Supination Pronation, Supination Pronation, Supination Pronation. All that other stuff. If not, make sure to hydrate, take a baby break, and make sure to eat super well. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you yet again. Big heart emoji, but in voice. But yeah, so we're talking about supination arthrokinematics. So for everyone coming in, supination is basically when you have your palm up, like if you want to like hold a bowl of soup or hold a cup of soup, like soup hands for the soup. Arthrokinematics is basically, we're just talking about the joint specifically. So for the joints, we have a distal radial ulnar joint and a proximal radial ulnar joint. So what does this mean? So below the elbow, you're going to have the ulnar bone, which is right here. Or the ulna, and this bone that's twisting around is going to be your radius. So hence the word radial ulnar joint. We're also talking about biomechanics, again, a very fundamental thing called the concave-convex rule. And basically, if a concave surface is moving on a convex, the joint or the bones are going to roll and glide in the same direction. If it's convex moving on concave, it's going to be the opposite direction, which is something we'll talk about a little bit more here. Yami says bones are cool. I like to know what I could accidentally mess up with an armbar. Just don't mess anything up and don't push yourself to the limit, my dude. So easy. But yeah. So while we're doing this palm up motion, we're talking about the distal radial ulnar joint. So what happens is that even though this little area right here that I'm circling, we can actually see like a zoomed in picture right here. We can see that this right here on the left is going to be our radius, which has a divot right here, meaning that it's going to be a concave surface, while the convex surface is going to be our ulnar bone. And we could tell this is our ulna because it has the little styloid process, or the little bump right here. Because the radius is the thing that is moving during the supination, that means that it is a concave surface moving on a convex, which means that the rolls and glides are going to be in the same direction, but it's going to do a dorsal roll and a dorsal glide because again it is moving in that same direction. Dorsal again is the opposite of palmar, so we refer to palmar as the palm of our hand or the front of our hand. So the back side of our hand is also referred to as the dorsum of the hand or the dorsal side of the hand. We have to understand that while we're doing this motion of supination, holding our beautiful cup of soup, corn chowder, the palmar capsules are going to become taut. Taut means that they're going to become tight. And why are they going to become tight? Because the distance of the bones that they connect to are going to become longer, while the dorsal capsular ligament goes slack because of the distance is going to become shorter, so it gets to relax. So yeah, so that's on this end. But on the proximal end, proximal meaning more proximal or more up close to the upper portion of our body, or the superior, more superior to our body rather than inferior, it's gonna be this, how do you call it? This proximal radial ulnar joint. The thing with this is that the concave or convex rule doesn't apply to this, and we can see it a little bit more here. So this is going to be, again, this C shape is going to be our ulna bone, and that's going to have a concave surface, but it doesn't really have a surface right here where this bone is articulating. This bone that I'm referencing, again, is going to be the radius. So no concave convex surface rule can apply here because there's no concave convex surface on the ulna right here where the radius is articulating. So what's going to happen here is a spin. So again, spin without the A. This is primarily going to be a spin motion, and we can see right here in the GIF right here. And what's going to happen is that this is actually going to be a lateral spin. So we have medial direction and lateral direction. Lateral means that it's going more outward, and that's actually really apparent that we see in the, how do you say it? And the GIF right here. So if it's a little bit hard to visualize, why don't we use the thumb as an example? So the thumb in pronation is going to do a medial spin, and the thumb is more medial or more closer to the midline of our body, while in pronation it's going to go lateral or more out. So ta-da! I think right now at this point we are supination and pronation experts. We just really need to know the difference between the distal and proximal, and understanding that the proximal is going to be not following the concave convex rule. It's going to be doing spinning, and we could just do the motion on ourselves so there's no confusion whatsoever, and follow our thumb while we do this motions from neutral. Yay. Alright, so now that we're done talking about our arm and the elbow, let's actually talk about the wrist. Now, this wrist is not necessarily, like, this image might not be the best, but it's still a really good visual to understand our concave and convex rule. I wrote some notes here, so we can also organize these notes, so let's do some of this. Ba-ba-da-ba, and we'll erase this. We'll put this here, and we'll just copy and paste this, okay? Education? And we say hi, welcome. It is. We are back at it again with the education. But I think it's interesting, or it's really fun to know, to be like, whoa, I didn't know my bones roll and glide. And it's like, yeah, silly. But yeah. Alright, so from here, let's see. I wonder if I could get a better image. So give me one moment. Let me go into my other tab and let's see what we can find. Maybe if I put biomechanics, maybe I'll find better results. One moment. I guess they're neat, but this is not necessarily what I I guess maybe this is the same one as well. Here. Let's see. We can actually do this. So we're gonna actually put another column. So we'll insert a column to the right. We'll insert a row below. And we'll do flexion here. And oops. We'll copy and paste this and we'll do extension here. And because I'm super lazy, but I want them to be in a what is it called? Title case? Bam! Formatted. So easy, so nice. So reflection, we could put this image right here. Oh no, I didn't want to copy and paste that. Hold on. So we'll just crop it. So for here we'll do, oh my goodness, here. And then for this one we'll crop it and we'll do here. And so that can be also really easy to understand. So let's rewrite these notes really quick and then we'll refer back to images and we'll pretty much regurgitate the information, okay? So what's gonna be concave? So, hold on. So we have a convex, a proximal row on the concave. Did it say distal? No, it just said radius and ulna. And as we know, what's going to happen here, and we could probably refer to the image right here, when they refer to proximal row, they're just referring to the row of the carpal bones that we have. The carpal bones are a unique beast of their own. They're it's really interesting because I'm not going to lie to you. Until I got into anatomy, I thought the wrist was like, you know, where you wear your like wristwatch and whatnot. But your wrist is much more detailed than that. So you see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 carpal bones. That's why it's kind of like a little bit dangerous. You know when people like fall and they try to catch themselves with their hands and they dislocate something, or they break like one of their wrist bones or carpal bones? Yeah, it's because they're so tiny and fragile. So please be careful when you fall. Try not to do this thing with your clothes swoosh or fwoosh. Let's see. Fwoosh is falling on an outstretched hand. So let's see if I can get a picture of it. But I'm getting action figures. Well, how should you fall? Just don't fall, forehead. That's it. On our booty? No, because then you're gonna break your tailbone. There's just no winning, honestly. I keep getting action figures no matter what I'm looking at. Holy heck. Holy heck. Alright, time to break out the MS Paint again. So. Let me do this, by the way. That's been bothering me. I'm like, ah. So what's gonna happen is that if you're about to fall and you're like, oh no, you know, and you're falling that direction, a lot of the times what's gonna happen is that you're going to be like, oh, I know how to do it. I know how to help myself. I'm going to swoosh. Oh no, that's not the right hand. Oh, what? Oh my gosh. They're going to swoosh. And they're gonna fall like this. What happens is that when you fall like that, you're going to have direct damage into the carpal bones, because we just saw that those carpal bones are tiny little baby bones, right? And with that, sometimes serious things can happen, like necrosis. And that means a lack of blood supply because of the fracture that's happening. And you know what? You just lose an arm. I'm so sorry. You just flat out lose an arm. No, I'm just kidding. That doesn't happen. But it is a serious thing that needs immediate medical attention. So yeah, that's the cycle. Go! Ah, socks in a coffee cup. How cute, how cozy. Thank you so very much for the follow. Welcome to the Cup Club. Welcome. Also, Gaije. Hi. Welcome. Hello. I'm just passing through. I'm Suki. Hi. Welcome. Thank you for passing through. I appreciate your company. Hopefully you pass by nicely and you find the company here nice. Monte says, when fall, don't. Exactly. Program that into your brain. your cotton candy brain with the spirals. Just don't fall, forehead. Just don't fall. That would be a Chad move. Alright, we're putting Emma's pain away. Thank you so very much for the follow as well. Welcome to the Cupwa. Welcome, 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 welcome. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, alright, going back to concave convex rule. So what's gonna happen is that, yes, your radius and ulna, you see how this is like a little divot right here on the bottom? Oh, you can't really see it, I'm so sorry. Right here, how it's doing that cupping motion, that's going to be your concave surface. So the proximal row of your carpal bones is going to be your convex surface. So what's happening is that your distal radius and ulna doesn't really move like that. Like if you do wrist flexion and extension right now, you see that it's mostly your hand moving, right? So when your hand moves like that, that means that the convex surface is moving on the concave, which means that you're gonna have an opposite roll and glide. So we can write that. Opposite roll and glide. So when you're doing, let's say, wrist flexion, yeah, you are going to be moving, I guess, would you say in a palmar direction? Yeah, because we'll do this in anatomical order. So again, hands to the side, palm facing the front. If we do wrist flexion, which means that your fingers should be coming up to the ceiling while in that position, that should be a palmar direction. So palmar roll, and we will do and dorsal glide. So now let's have the same thing. We'll copy and paste that. So for wrist extension, it's going to be the same thing. But in this particular case for extension, we're actually going to be focusing on these two carpal bones in particular. Oops, that's not how you spell that at all. So we have the capitate and the hamate. And that's actually going to be on the proximal row. Proximal row. And it's going to be a roll and glide in the same direction, or different directions, opposite. So we're going to have a dorsal roll because again we're doing extension, which means that we're going back, and we're going to be doing a palmar glide. Sorry about that. Here you go. And then let's see if we can get some decent images about the hamate, because that's really interesting to be focusing on these two exclusively. But what did I write in my little notes here? Hold on. Concave convex rule. So are we just only talking about the mid-carpal? Concave convex rule, mid-carpal, and the rules are the same. Distal moving on proximal. Okay. What capitate does in all of them interacts with all three, and it's moving in all three rules, glides, opposites. What did I write here? That was me trying to type while he was speaking, so heck. I mean, I get the general gist of it. It's just concave convex. It's just I would have never really imagined the capitate having a part in it. So maybe if we grab an image really quick, maybe it'd be a little bit easier to visualize of why that's the one that's being focusing on extension. But to be completely fair, what do you call it? These were connected. So maybe I should just do this. No, but then it wouldn't make sense about the distinction. Alright, that's something we'll look back at later. I'll put like a little, like, someone explain that to me. I'll ask one of my classmates, be like, oh, excuse me, on this. Actually, I'll also make it red. So. Is this the same thing? Oh no, but this is for ulna and radial deviation, so that's fine. So let's see, with the wrist complex arthrokinematics, ulnar and radial deviation. So this one I might not write out, to be honest. I think this one we can talk our way through. So we have to understand that this is the proximal row right here. So the convex proximal row, as we see here, is going to move on the concave radius and ulna. So we see this is convex, this is concave, and that's going to be moving in the opposite direction. So if we do ulnar deviation, so if we have our hand up like, hey, what's up? Or hey, I'm not sure about that, and you're doing the shrugging, you have your hand like out flat, if you move your hand towards your pinky side, that's going to be your ulnar deviation side. So what's going to happen is that I think the rolls and glide for this is that you're going to roll ulnarly and glide radially. Or I think they wanted to say, let's see, if we put it anatomical position, maybe the roll is medial and the glide is lateral. I think either way would work. I think I have a pretty good understanding when it comes to that. But then the convex, capitate, and hamate, which are going to be right here, is going to be moving on the proximal roll, which is concave. So even though this is convex on the bottom, they're actually concave on top. These are going to be convex, so it's going to also have an opposite roll and glide when we do another one. And for this case, we're going to be doing radial deviation. So instead of going towards your pinky, you're going to be going towards your thumb, and you're going to be doing that same, like, off to the side motion. Yeah. So we could talk about the first carpal metacarpal joint, the trapezium. So this one is just going to be the same thing that we were talking about way earlier with the SC joint. The SC, which is going to be our sternoclavicular joint, that's going to be a saddle joint. And the cool thing with saddle joints, again, is that it is both concave and convex. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. So we can see it here. It's the same thing like the SC joint. See, this surface of the joint has a concave convex. This surface has a concave convex. But it's just a different kind of motions. The thumb is actually a little bit, actually not a little bit, it's pretty complex, to be honest. So with the saddle joint, it's going to have 2 degrees of freedom. So for the thumb, we could do flexion and extension, and abduction, adduction. So we could bring the thumb in and out, or we could flex it, or we could extend it, like, ooh, big thumbs up, you did so good today. So what happens is that the convex carpal, which is going to be here, convex, moving more horizontally, and we see it right here in that green, it's going to go against the concave metacarpal. And from here, we're going to do the flexion direction. So what's going to happen is that the carpal is not moving when you're doing flexion and extension of the thumb, and even when you do so right now, you see the thumb is really the main component that's moving. That concave moving on convex means that's going to be moving in the same direction. So that's why the rolls and glides are, again, same direction. But we got to also know the planes. That's something that I will focus on a little bit later. Alright? For the concave, for abduction and adduction is basically bringing the thumb in and out, in and out. Your fingers are close together, your fingers are separate, together, separate, together, separate, together, separate. So what's going to happen is that the concave carpal, which is right here, is going to be moving on the convex metacarpal, which is right here. And when you put the, like, close fingers together, fingers not together, fingers not together, fingers not together motion, the rolls and glide are going to be opposite, because what's happening is that we're having a convex surface moving on the concave surface. So yay. Here's some more first carpal metacarpal arthrokinematics, which I will look at later because I'm getting burnt out. Because the hand is a little bit more complicated, and I honestly want to watch like a YouTube video or have like a classmate explain it to me. This honestly is not so bad though. MCP, abduction, and adduction. So what's happening is that, again, fingers together, fingers not together. What's happening is that abduction and adduction are going to occur, and this is going to be your landmark right here. Your third metacarpal, or your third finger, just simply does not move. There's, like, how can you bring it together? This is your midpoint or your landmark when bringing the fingers out, so they're abducting away from the third one. And then if the fingers are moving towards it, so from here, you go from here, fingers together, that's going to be your adduction. Well, again, this is your abduction. Monte, thank you for the posture check. Hold on, let me uncross my legs. Alright? So, let's talk about cool deformities that can happen with your hand. Yay? But actually, I might take a little break soon. The tiniest little break. I'm a mama. Let's see, how far are we again? So we're on 18. Oh, I didn't number these. Oh no! We can break the steady streams apart, I guess. So let's actually finish talking about the deformities really quick, and then next time when we see each other we can talk more about the back. Okay? GG. Yes, GG. I'm so tired. I've been 3.5 hours of studying or just talking about this document, so I'm like sweaty, and plus I see Rip streaming. Yeah, so you know, I gotta read my girl. But anyway, let me see. So let's talk about swan neck deformity. So let me just break it down by looking at the image. So swan neck deformity is just basically when your finger freaks the heck out, and it's really just, it gets deformed in a way that our fingers, which are going to be divided in this way. So you have your metacarpal phalange, you have your PIP, which is your proximal interphalange, and then you have your distal interphalange. So DIP joint right here, PIP joint, MCP joint. What's going to happen in swan neck deformity is really one of the main things you want to focus on is what is the PIP joint doing? And with the PIP right now is actually going to be stuck in hyperextension, so you can see it going slightly back, while the MCP is going to be in flexion and the DIP is in flexion. Why this happens, and it's kind of, I don't really like showing an image of this, but this is going to be a result of RA, or rheumatoid arthritis, which is something you don't have to worry about until you're like much older. So what's going to be the opposite of this, because this is all like fluff that I can read later, but what's the opposite of this? Boutonniere's deformity. So what's going to happen here is that your PIP is actually going to be stuck in flexion, while the MCP and the DIP are going to be stuck in its extension. So that's what your finger is going to look like, and that's also going to be a result of RA, or rheumatoid arthritis. So yeah. Really, they seem intimidating, but basically, you have no, Sanada! You have oh! You do? Oh no! I'm sorry. But how applicable? But yeah, here's more about your the deformity if you want to know about it, even though you may be aware. Basically, again, we're just focusing again PIP flexion. Everything else is going to be an extension. There's going to be a dorsal synovitis, which just means that there's inflammation in between the joint spaces, and that there also might be distension or ballooning present. Best party trick ever! No, it's okay. It's always fun to be like, ooh, look what I could do. Whoosh. It's like, how did you get your hands like that? My body hates me. But yeah, with that, with inflammation and ballooning, you're also going to have the bands that are going to be displaced volarly. So these bands that we have right here are going to be more faced towards the palm of your hand. Again, the front of your hand can be referred to as volar surface or palmar surface. These things are interchangeable. Which I think we can end right here with the terminology, by the way. So anatomy in itself has a lot of words that basically can mean the same thing. So whenever we refer to something as the posterior, it can also be referred to as the dorsal side. And what does posterior or dorsal side mean? It just basically means the back of the body. Anterior or ventral is going to be the front of the body. Medial, there's no other word related to it. Medial just really means, again, midline of the body. Lateral is going to be none because there's not really another word for it, which is going to be away from the midline. Then we have superior. Superior can also be known as cranial, so like, you know, your head is right here. Head or the top of the body. And then we also have inferior, which can also be known as caudal, which is a word not many people are familiar with, but it's going to refer to the tail. And when they mean tail, they mean that your tailbone or your coccyx. So again, inferior or caudal can mean tail or bottom of the body. But yeah, we have about 20 more pages left. A lot of these thankfully are just images, but maybe we could talk about them a little bit more tomorrow or even Monday, yeah, before the exam. But yeah, we got through a lot. I mean, it doesn't look like a lot, but these are all like very meaty subjects that I need to know about, so I honestly thank you, Cubs, for your time. I thank you for your time and listening and all that stuff. I think I'm gonna rest up a little bit and eat something so I can regain my energy, and then get back into maybe a little bit of studying, and then maybe I'll go play some games. Maybe I'll finally get to play some more comp in Overwatch and not like absolutely rage, you know? But yeah, let us get to it. Good work. Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you for the head pat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry for leaving when you just came in. I'm just like, so tired. But I think we did really good work today, so I'm really happy, and I had a lot of fun conversations with you, cuz. So again, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me get away with study streams. But yeah, I'm super excited. So we're gonna catch up. We're gonna start raiding into Rip. Yes, the Rip Skip. Yeah. Rip recently just came back from a trip. Well, she didn't go anywhere. Selic went to recently visit her, and it looks like she's talking about photos of the trip and such. So that's actually super cute. So we can definitely catch up with that. So let's do that, okay? We can live vicariously through her. Good work. Thank you, Missy. I appreciate it. Thank you, Robo. Thank you for the stream tip. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you. Oh no, Spooky Nananas. What a cute name. Thank you so very much for the follow. Welcome to the Cub Club. Welcome. But yeah, from tip to rip. Exactly. We're going A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. We're going reverse ABC order, but that's A-okay. Lim says yay? Yay. So, oh no, these are my raid messages. That's too soon. But feel free to copy and paste that. We're going to be raiding into Rip. If you're not subscribed or you're not a sugar bear, don't worry. Feel free to participate with the bear emoji. Go Gal raid. And if you are subscribed, feel free to use the Tipanya with the Gal raid. If you're new here as well, feel free to join the Discord. On Discord, we do anime nights on Tuesdays, which is no longer Tuesday anymore, but we're watching like Chainsaw Man, we're watching Spy Family, Pop Team Epic, Akiba Mid War, and Mob Psycho 100. So please feel free to check out and hang out. I'll probably be there later tonight on Discord streaming my Overwatch comp games, not trying to wage to death. Thank you, Atomic. Thank you. We also have Twitter. Today was an impromptu stream just because I didn't realize I was gonna have off, so I was pretty excited. But Friday for sure, it's still a to be determined. I might do more studying, I might game, I might actually try to see if the Splatfest aligns a little bit better, you know? But yeah, let's get to it, okay? Oh, and the socials and all that. Ta-da! But yeah, oh, connecting to chat. Oh no, did my stream die? Oh no. Oh no. Oh my goodness, that was weird. Why did my stream do that? No? Oh no. Anyway, socials, yay! Anyway, I'm gonna go before my stream dies. Oh, it was normal? Okay, good. Because I'm like, it's not letting me chat anything, so I was really confused. I just wanted to raid. Oh no, Sai already raided. Heck. Alright, cubs. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, please forgive me. Please forgive me, but I would like to study. I would like to do something. I would like to game. I would like to do something. I want to really again make up for last week for not streaming, so bleh. Anyway, everycub, please have a good night and the sweetest of dreams. Please give lots of love to Rip. I'm going to be sitting there lurking, but I'm also going to heat up some lunch, so alright, talk to you cubs later, okay? Bye. Okay, bye. Lots of love.